I'm never going to get tired of that intro. I don't think it's just... I'm not convinced it's actually possible for it to happen. But as we left off last week, Lizard Man carrying the unconscious body of Zerg along behind them, leaving behind a truly desecrated privy that we'll speak of no further. The five of you gathered back in the large bedroom, the master chambers that you had discovered just inside the main threshold of the hermitage. You have done a lot of work in here already. You have slain legions of these druids, their priests, their retainers. All of them seem to be exceedingly hostile and with these same debased emblems of Gazra. But you've also, dealt with the problem that they were not entirely lying to you about back at that main intersection. You headed down into the crypts and cleaned out a surprisingly large amount of ghouls. Spent an amount of time we're also not going to divulge any further trying to figure out a door, and having no real success at that.
I remember being very successful, I'll have you know.
Do you?
Yeah, I totally got that down. Are you kidding me?
Wait, sorry, I was spaced out. What did you get down, Lizard?
How to interact with the door.
Oh, right. No, that was a disaster.
You guys just didn't figure it out, Sometimes I'm the brains of this party and it really,
Well, I did get on the other side, so...
Yeah, and so did I, by no help of anyone else.
You did kind of get around and more in spite of Ara's assistance.
Yeah.
Thanks to it. But with everything we've come through so far, we find ourselves back here in these chambers, looking very much for a place to rest. Our spells depleted, Ara having basically fallen about unconscious in a room completely pooled with just blood and viscera. Many of you injured, many of you lacking resources. This seems to be the safest location that we've found so far. And as we come back into this, Zerg awakening on the cold stone floor. Party.
I completely forgot we blocked the doors of the dead druids.
You did in fact block the door with the dead druids, but you then heaped them out of the way and you just piled them on the writing desk so that you could use the doorway.
We are slobs.
We are a circus.
What's that smell?
Corpse.
Yes.
Or you.
Smells like corpse, yes. I feel much better. Big cleanse out. I don't know how I wake up here, but big cleanse. Good for health. I feel much better, yes.
Look like you lost some weight. It's good.
I feel like I lost some weight, yes. Slimming down.
Emphasizes the muscles, I like it. It's good.
Yes,
Try
I feel
that more
good.
often.
I think it's probably 5 pounds lighter at this point.
One thing for sure, I think I need to stockpile more meat for this new diet I'm going to try.
Yeah. Well, been drawing out. Mostly we've only been, killing people. But eventually I'm sure we'll find some, other
I
things.
missed the killing? Oh.
Yeah,
there'll be plenty
really
more.
sad story.
It's the things you give up for beautiful looks.
I know. Life
It's
stuff.
okay.
Yeah. So you're on an all meat diet. I imagine you ate one Karen. That's what caused the incident.
I mean, if you
Carrot?
eat the carrot, then I guess we have to get another carrot.
What then,
once a week,
carrot?
maybe. So are we gonna I guess we just go to sleep now and continue on tomorrow. I know we left that one guy unconscious in the doorway at the front.
He is, for what it's worth, tied
yeah.
up, but he is also
right,
unconscious
tied
in
up.
the doorway.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I tied him pretty good, so. Should we
Right.
bring him in here to sleep with us, or do you think it's better to not?
I think I just want to go to sleep, if I'm being honest.
Okay, sure. He can sleep out there. It's fine.
So who's going to be Big Spoon, Little Spoon? You have one bed.
You do have one, a fairly well-appointed, decently sized bed, but one bed. And
Yeah.
it's a decently large room, but it is bare stone on the floors throughout. And the entryway where the writing desk and the shelves are is soaked with sticky, drying pools of blood throughout, where you had just left the bodies of 2 of the priests to block the door and then heaped them on the table so they'd be slightly more out of the way of the door. The entryway absolutely looks like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at this point.
I can sleep in almost any condition, but never really next to dead bodies.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll just pile them back up in front of the door. And
Maybe
then we
not
can
in
just all
front.
pile
On the other side, perhaps.
But then people coming by will see the dead bodies.
Reminder, there are also several dead bodies on the other side of that door.
Yeah.
They
Those
won't
are the
see
distraction.
those.
Those are the distraction dead
They
bodies.
are
from the
closer
other
to
dead
the
bodies.
entrance to that room, though. They're against the large double door that led in. While you slid them
Yeah.
aside to open the what we have now determined is just a saloon door. But,
Well, either way, I'm gonna go over the bed and lie down. And if anybody wants to come cuddle, me and Zig are both cuddly guys. So,
Very
Oh
cuddly.
yeah, I'll jump into the bed.
sounds like
I'll
fun.
even acrobatics to see how much of a flourish I can do when I hop into the bed.
okay.
Oh hell yeah!
Very
Flourish. I do a front flip.
Very stylishly leaps into the bed. Ara, I know, took up residence in the bathtub over here. Aramis and Zerg, surely, whether it's a bit of the mattress heaped together with their allies or the floor here, you can find a place to rest, but it is certainly, well, for Aramis at least, who appears to be a human with morals of some degree, somewhat unsettling to have the, well, festering corpses of 2 of the druids clearly visible on the
I should be
southern
into
end
it.
of the
It's the
chamber.
circle of life.
Okay, I would, before we all get comfortable, I would literally try to do this myself if no one's going to do it.
Oh, what are you trying to do?
Take the bodies out of the room that we're going to sleep.
Oh. Do you think the frogs are still hungry? I feel like they've probably eaten quite a bit.
Yeah, don't mention the frogs.
They probably moved on.
It reminds me of Mayor Vomit.
I mean, I could throw them off the side of the cliff if you wanted me to.
We could just put him on the other side of the door.
Okay. If it makes you sleep better at night, I'll go put them on the other side of the door.
It's been a long day, Lizard.
Okay, good. I'll do that. And I just, throw them outside the door.
So opening the door here, of course, to the massive spectacle that is this antechamber, and 2 more bodies, one of which, a ghoul, very well just rotting down there. It was beyond dead already when it arrived. You just chuck these 2 corpses unceremoniously into the slowly growing pile near the entry of that room before, again, shutting the door
Actually,
behind you.
Lizard, this is a very beautiful room with a lot of artistic integrity.
Okay, I will open the saloon doors. I will push all of the bodies onto the other side of the door.
Okay.
And then close the door again, and then go back to bed.
So you just kind of shove all these corpses through these doors onto the backside, where the other ghoul is, now making an even grander heap. And then just leave it for that. Happy with your services.
Is this the correct?
That's the sign. That's good. Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll grab her around the waist and just belly flop into the bed.
I will sleep on floor or under bed.
Under bed
Okay.
is probably a bad idea. I don't know. There's a lot of people on the bed, and I don't know if it's meant for this many people. So maybe you should
Oh
sleep
yeah,
on
if
the floor
it
next to the
breaks,
bed.
you might get crushed by Sorik's apps.
No. And maybe
Maybe next to the bed.
Things
Maybe
that are
next.
a moral conundrum. Letting their friends sleep under the bed where it might be slightly dangerous. Things that are not a moral conundrum. Mass murder.
Well, yeah, those people are already dead.
Yeah. Well, we don't really like them anyway, so.
Fair. All fair points. So, however you decide to make your accommodations here for the evening, you arrange the room as best as you can, figuring out where to take your positions to try to sleep. And by this point, it is fairly late. And, of course, you have been fighting stuff all day long. You've been dealing with these druids. You have been dealing with the ghouls. You've been dealing with the frogs outside, even to some extent. And now you need to recuperate. No closer to figuring out what is even wrong here, what's even caused all of this. Really no indication of how this all went so wrong. But
Well, there were strange creatures here. We had that in the diary.
there were strange creatures at the Aeon Tower.
Yeah.
That's, well, yeah, possibly something, but whether that's related to what's happened here, I mean, maybe. So you read there were trogs, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Is anybody trained in society?
I am. Of
Do you want
course,
to make me a check to see, while you're getting ready to rest for the
course.
evening here, what it is you even know about trogs?
a 20 on society. I'm a woman of the world.
Clearly, yes, a woman of the trog world. So you know, trogs are one of the many races of the Darklands. Those that live in the near infinite caverns spiraling beneath the surface of Galarian. Down below with the drow and the darrow and everything else that us good people here where the sun is don't typically want to interact with. They're named trogs for a reason, as they almost bear a resemblance to underdeveloped, almost lizard-like humanoids, but with no scales, just strange, swollen anatomy and long, seemingly pointless tails that dangle behind them, barely prehensile. But trogs is a name that man gave them. Zolgath is the name of the race proper. And all that you really know about them and their society is that they are largely not terribly intelligent, and they're very aggressive and almost tribal, ruled by the strongest rather than the smartest or the wisest. Also, they smell horrible, overwhelmingly horrible, to a point where it's something you would know because it is noted that whenever trogs, these Zolgath, come to the surface and there are occasional clashes in mines or anything like that, their stench is so overwhelming as to be a weapon unto itself.
Right.
So seeing them on the surface, little uncommon. Not unheard of, but a little uncommon. So you all rest for the evening, finding your spots and settling in. Is everybody just going to sleep, or are we doing a...
No, I'll take watch.
I was also going to say we do watches. So there's a standard system of like a watch rotation, more or less.
Yeah.
Can I take first watch with Selwyn and spend the time reading and learning that scroll that I got?
Learning a spell from a scroll is a downtime activity. It's going to take you a full day.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 hours for a second level.
It's an hour per level of spell, I think.
Oh, I'm wrong. You are right, actually. Learning a spell is just an exploration activity, so you definitely can. I'm thinking of identifying spells, identifying items, and taking a day. You can, in fact, learn a spell, so you can do that over the night while you're on watch. Absolutely.
Cool.
Selwyn and Arbus taking the first shift here. In order to learn a spell, however, you are going to need some materials. You basically need some material components, almost as training wheels, to assist you in coming to grips with the magic initially, which I don't believe is something you have right now. For a second level spell, you'd need 6 gold worth of materials.
Okay.
So that is largely the same as it was in first edition. It's the writing it into your spell book. But even if you're not necessarily writing into a spell book, you still need some components to help you access the magic initially.
Yeah.
Can we use some of like the jewels we found? I assume maybe those would have been part of, druids keeping with nature.
Everything they brought together was in fact scavenged from the hermitage. The problem being, the several bits of jewelry and things you have are individual, fairly expensive pieces. Like that necklace is worth
Right.
15 gold, and the coral dolphin statue is worth 40. You
But
don't
we
have
did find
any
a bunch of gems, right?
where
We do
from?
have that on the. I don't know. It's on the party sheet.
I believe that was before you came in here. I don't think that
Perhaps,
was in
okay.
the hermitage itself. Because the only thing you'd found here there'd be gems were the jade and silver jewelry necklace
Okay.
and the emerald-eyed dolphin.
Yeah.
Though, if you wanted to take one of the eyes from the dolphin, perhaps, trying to use this as a bit of a focus to kind of help you hone, it's basically gonna drop the value of that statue a little bit more. That thing's probably worth 40 gold. It go down to about 30. So it'd be 10
Right.
instead of 6. But you could use that to try and learn that now if you think it's something that you would help you in the coming adventures, something immediately. I would allow that.
I guess it's up to Selwyn if you want.
I would.
We have a.
I mean, I would take one of the eyes out and hand it to you, since it's a druidic thing. It should be used for druidic purposes.
Thank you, Selwyn. I would love to learn this magics.
Well, I don't like giving away gold for free, but you know.
I know. That's why it means a lot. Thank you.
So then, with your first couple hours on watch, I assume it is Sudden Bolt that you are
Yep.
trying to learn.
Now, how did you guess
just
that?
a wild guess out there.
All right. It's a
Go
fair
ahead
guess,
and give me a nature check.
yes. All right. Huzzah. Ooh. That's a 19.
With a 19, after the 2 hours of waiting and studying and practicing incantations and motions, trying to hone energy through this emerald as a focus, it losing more and more of its color and luster as just the natural energy in the stone is drawn away. With a peal of thunder, you do manage to come to grips with this spell. The emerald shatters, and you know Sudden Bolt. The magic from the
Yay!
skull having been expended, filtered through the gemstone to help you attune yourself with it. Shortly afterward, you hear a knock on the door. As you look around, this room's large. The door is a solid, 40 feet away from you. That's not going to be nearly enough to wake Zerg or Lizard Man, I'm sure, from their slumbers. But you and Selwyn are both awake.
Uh-oh.
So what would we do?
Play cool. And I'll jostle Zerg and Lizard awake, and do like a shh. Like I'll hold my hand over their
Fast!
mouth as I wake them up.
Fast, are you in there?
Can I do a deception to impersonate a human woman
Absolutely.
and say, occupied? Or 12, I'm not very... The human ways, they befuddle me.
It would just coming close to the door. Yeah, it's not even close. Not even remotely close. Selwyn gives a shot at kind of imitating the old woman,
And I'll curse under my breath.
yelling at the man. And you hear follow up a woman's voice. Who is that? It's not Fest. Who's in there with you?
I would move over to this corner and hide.
It's,
Helen, Zerg
It's-
also Fox. Do the moan, the thing. Make noise.
what the fuck are you saying?
Yes.
It's,
Zerg Fox, what's the problem?
it's Quest. Festus' sister. I've been in town for a couple of days. You might not have seen me. Can I try another deception?
Okay. Go ahead and roll me.
Or 24.
Ooh. 24 is actually really good. There's a brief moment. You hear some muttering on the other side of the door. Quest! I didn't hear anything about a sister being in town. What's happened out here? Have you seen any of this? Open the door!
No,
Where is everyone? Where's Yorl?
I'm new on this pilgrimage. I haven't seen any Yorl. I've been meditating in here for a solid day while Fest is out doing whatever. Is Fest safe?
And the woman calls again. She's not in there with you. Well, quick, Quest, come out here. Something's wrong. The hermitage isn't safe.
Is anywhere truly safe? I cannot leave my meditation, and opening the door would compromise my connection to Gosra.
Yes. Yes.
There's a moment of silence. Connection. Are you?
It's part of an Eastern ritual. You wouldn't understand.
Well, that's all well and good, but there won't be much for meditation if whatever's happened here comes for you.
Then that
We'll
is a
get you
risk I
somewhere
shall
safe.
run.
Just open the door, Quest.
I cannot. This is something I must risk. You go on and stay safe. And I'll turn to the rest of the party and shrug.
Brief moment. Well, if it's that important to you, I suppose. Don't open this door for anyone you don't recognize. I don't know what's going wrong here, but it's something terrible. Look, Crag and I are heading back in. I don't know if this is... Well, we don't know, really. Don't open this door for anyone, you understand? Unless
Yes.
you're sure you know them.
Thank you so much. I feel relieved that there is protection on the other side. And I'm like on my breath.
then,
like, yes, yes, yes.
With that, you hear footsteps recede back from the door as they walk back out to the hermitage to try and figure out what's happened.
Selwyn, that was amazing.
I don't even know half the shit I said.
Wow.
Well, that was my second worst impression and third worst deception. All things considered, not that bad.
It seemed to work out in the end. With that, Zerg, Lizard Man, returning to sleep in the bed. Ara, if he even woke up, passing back out in a little wooden nugget in the bathtub. The rest of you returning to your sleep. You wouldn't hear any further interruptions throughout the evening. And as the hours passed and the watches got handed down, one to the next, you would eventually find yourself, whoever was asleep at the end, being awoken by the last watch. What feels like fairly early in the morning. Fortunately, without any further disturbances. So everybody heals for, believe it is your constitution times your level.
Wait, times or plus?
Pretty sure it's times.
Oh, wow.
Because, I mean, your health multiplies up, so if it was plus, it would fall off ridiculously hard. So that's probably not going to be enough to bring some of you back up to complete full, but it's certainly going to help.
Definitely helps.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I mean, sleeping off the worst of your wounds, at least I'm sure Lizard and Zerg are going to awaken still a bit injured. But...
Wait, say con modifier or score?
Con modifier, sorry. Your con modifier times your level.
Okay.
Oh, so you missed the Great Deception. Of,
That would be 9
what
for
year was
you.
it?
Quest?
Yeah, that's me. What's up? I am Quest, the sister of Fest. A human woman, probably.
Good job.
You don't
Quick
sound
thinking.
too confident.
This is why we let you do all the talking.
Well, of course I'm not confident. I'm never at Fest. Why do you think my impression was so off? That's definitely why.
I thought it was pretty good. I could barely tell.
The quest or the Fest impression, because quest is me, Fest is someone else.
I
that I
didn't
don't
know
know.
either of them, so I thought they were both really good.
Oh, thank you. Wait.
Wait a moment. Hold on. Alrighty.
Well,
Anywho, Sylvan 1, Gullible Druids 0.
Stupid idiots.
No offense, Grave.
Well, to be fair, she's not the same druids.
She isn't, but she is gullible.
What happened?
Oh, there you go.
Stupid lie on the table got deleted on accident. So, given a new morning, it's gonna take the group of you about an hour for you to prepare for Ara and Arabis to attune with their magic, which, while they're not outside in nature as they would normally want to be for the morning preparations, here inside the hermitage, Arabis particularly, you would feel an almost a stronger connection to Gazra himself. Well, itself, I guess. As if this hermitage itself still holds a lot of the holy power it once had. It has, you can tell, the hermitage as a whole is certainly not beyond saving. Nestled deep in the cliffs here, it still holds that font of divine power. And since as you and Ara are both primal casters, it's going to help you greatly in your readying. Lizardman, Zerg, Selwyn, with some efforts to tend to your weapons, your armor, sharpening, patching, and readying to head back out. It'd be fairly early in the morning, and you find yourselves prepared. And then, what do you do?
Well, I'll slowly go to the door and open it. Just take a peek outside.
Peeking through the doorway, you would find the situation outside much as you had left it. This beautiful chamber, this massive entryway here, with its fresco across the floor, still awash with now very darkened, dried bloodstains. Around the door to your chamber and the double doors leading back out to the entry of the hermitage, the blood is thick and congealed, even now still not looking fully dried. But the room still illuminated by this magical glow from the top of the 8 pillars, making it almost look unreal. The body of the worm beast itself, however, appears to have been removed.
Ah. Well. Let us
So,
enter
where are we
deeper into this
going?
hell. Well, deeper into this hellhole.
Oh yeah, to the right or left?
I'll flip a coin.
To the right.
Why are you flipping a coin?
Oh no, to the left.
To decide if we're going right or left.
How does that determine which direction? Why not just ask the Stormlord?
Well,
Because the Stormlord isn't going to respond. Probably.
What?
What?
Tell me.
Well, you're just going to ask that we're going to go right or left, and the Stormlord's going to be, you should go right. It is totally the non-lethal way to go.
There's a spell for that.
I am the Stormlord. Wah.
I am waiting to see you flip coin, Selwyn, and determine our fates.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll flip it really nicely, too.
Very openly.
Yeah.
What are you rolling for? What is it?
I'm rolling for flipping my coin really nicely.
You flip it behind your back?
Well, it's sleight of hand, so that's like
Yeah, with the 19 on thievery, she could, for sure.
Yeah. I'll do a little whole stunt.
With the coin.
And probably cheat and say it comes up heads and we'll go right.
Okay.
Alright, so go ahead and arrange yourselves. The hallway that leads to the right up to the north here is narrow, making it difficult for you to pass anything other than single file, really. Go ahead and align yourselves top to bottom here across the center of the room from Lizardman to Ara. The order you want to proceed on the halls.
Right. So
And I will
in front of
just
me.
cluster drag everyone for convenience sake.
Thanks, buddy. Wait. Wrong place, sir.
We're going this way, Zig. We're going up. Unless you want to be in
In the
the
way.
Roll 20 is not having a good time with me right now.
No, it
Um,
never is.
With this map in particular, I had a huge issue with it last week until I actually Task Manager completely restarted Chrome, and then it ran great, and it's run great since then. So when we take our break, maybe not a terrible idea if you don't have stuff open you don't want to lose in Chrome, because that saved me a lot.
Good call. Good call.
But as you proceed down this hallway, Lizard Man, the first to reach this junction, you see it takes what looks like an intersection is really just a sharp angle leading to a singular hallway down the left, punctuated with doors on either side every 10 feet, looking almost like apartments or dormitories.
Well, I don't know how many coins you have, but there's 100 doors over here, and they're going everywhere, and I don't know which one we should go in first. Should we just walk down the hallway, or do you want to go in all these rooms?
What do you think?
Well,
Prison.
hallway is easier.
All right, but it could lead into an ambush if we don't check the
Well, then
doors.
I guess we should go through the doors, because, you should have said that first. If you're asking my opinion, I guess.
Well,
Don't
we're
think-
having a back and forth. You come with the initial argument, I come with a counterpoint, and then we go from there.
So we're walking down the hallway then, yeah?
No, we're opening the doors.
Okay, see, I don't understand why we have conversations.
Lizard Man's in a bad mood this morning.
Yeah.
There
Did not
is
sleep well, lizard
no
man.
good
Who
food
peed-
in
Who
this
peed in your
place.
trail rations?
It's
You are eating
all
trail rations.
rubbish.
Wow.
Okay, where
there
are we
are a lot
going?
of doors.
Which door? Which door?
Oh,
This door? I'll
yeah,
open this door next to
Sure,
you.
open the door.
So you just, at complete random, select the door next to you, which you open up into a small living chamber. It's not large and it's very simple, with a basic straw-filled mattress and a couple chests in various corners of the room for storing belongings. Up on one wall is an amateurish but carefully created painting of what appears to be the cliffside outside the hermitage. Just a great natural landscape. It may well have been painted by hand by the druid that stays here themselves.
Nice.
Nope, nothing in this room.
I'll open the door next to me.
What are we all, as we're going through this, what are we all doing? How are we all proceeding as we check these?
I'm
rooms?
seeking.
Someone's got eyes out for some of value. Arbus?
Well, yes, and dangerous things.
Yeah, dangerous.
Also looking for dangerous things.
Zerg's just
Okay.
enjoying feeling lighter than ever. Like a feather.
I think it's actually
And
lost
cleansed
20 pounds.
of his sins.
So, Lizard?
I will also be looking for things. We're gonna be
Everyone's
just a
eyes.
searching
Yeah, you're all
party.
checking different doors here, so it makes sense. Makes sense. How about you, Ara?
I'm looking for magic.
So you'll
So
be
detect-
continually casting, keeping this
Yes.
cantrip up to see if anything of note appears before you. So Selwyn, you open another door into a chamber that looks near identical to the one that Lizard Man pokes his head in, save a few changes. There's no painting posted up on the wall, and the chest nearest the door hangs open, with just a couple of simple robes, boots, and bits of clothing, much akin to what the druids you've met so far have been wearing. On the bed, open, is another of the holy books of Gazra. However, you can see that on the pages it's been opened to, it has been defaced. Written down the margins with more of the strange angular demonic symbols that cover the holy icons of Gazra each of the druids bear. And the center of one of the pages, a much larger series of strange angled circles. A huge glyph covering all the text on the page itself.
Right. Moving on. Cirque, would you like to open your door?
Yes.
So below Zerg, he opens the door to a room very well occupied
Oh,
by
hello.
a pair of druids. A man and a woman, very much entwined piled together on this bed and super unconscious. The
Better
woman
close that
snoring
quietly.
loudly, rolling out into the hallway as the door opens.
I'd reach over to the door and slowly close it
When
quietly.
when you say entwined, are they tied up or are they just sleeping?
They're snuggling.
Very snuggled.
They're
Very
good cuddly guys.
Is this where we're coup de grace?
Selwyn.
What?
No.
Oh.
You don't mess with stuff like that. That's rude. I've heard. So,
Ara, would you, Ara and Arbus, would you like to open yours?
So
R squared.
Zarabas goes to open her door. Wolf13 Red in the chat wants to throw some hero points to said druid,
Ooh.
and unable to find the donate link, decided to just do it with 10,000 bits. Bruh.
Wow.
That's a lot of
That's
hero points, isn't it?
that's at least, I would imagine, several hero points here. So,
Wow.
you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and top you off.
And his name says Wolf. That's perfect.
Just go ahead and just take like 5 of them. Well,
Okay, thank you.
just take like 5 of those hero points there.
Thank you, Wolf.
Also lets me run through all the various symbols and make sure they are in fact working as I put them on there. From 0 to hero now with a huge pack of hero points. Arbus opening this southern door. Another simple chamber. Straw mattress, 2 chests, butts. Near the foot of the bed. This mattress looks like it hasn't been touched in some days, and both the sheets and the mattress itself have been soaked through with blood, staining the wood and very well dried on the stone floor, left for a very long time.
Weird
The amount
place.
of blood is not small.
What
Looks
is
like
going on here?
Probably more than you could realistically lose and remain alive.
That's a science this party knows well.
Yeah.
I leave.
What about that door on the end?
Yeah, Ara, come on. Open your doors.
I opened my door. I knock first, though.
There a
Then
brief
open it.
knock with no response.
Don't knock.
Ar finds a much more cluttered chamber with quite a few chests all sequestered together on the southern end of the room here. Just sort of in a pile around each other, and then also a small stool just sort of tucked over there as well. All of them hold nothing really of interest. Some candles, some rags, writing materials, clothes. Simple
Boring.
belongings for simple pilgrims.
That room's a mess.
Oh,
Each doorway along this hall simply seems to lead to small domiciles where individual druids must have lived.
Let's go open the next one, huh?
To which you'd find much the same.
Okay, I'm gonna just go open all these doors.
And as you pass here in the middle of the hall, where there's a torch set in a sconce illuminating the area, there is a fork off to your right that does lead north through some stairs that head down a little ways, deeper down, closer to sea level, descending about 15 feet, almost in darkness before heading to another chamber that must very well be illuminated by more torches beyond.
So I guess I'll go open these doors real quick. Clunk, 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 clunk. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
as
good to go.
you head down the hall, checking all of them, reaching the far end of this passageway to see it turns a right angle into another hall, absolutely lined with about a jillion more doors.
Okay, I'm over the doors. There's too many doors in this place. We're going down the stairs.
All right.
We need to find Reginald, though. He could be in one of those doors.
He's not
Well-
going to be in one of those doors.
How do you know, Selwyn? Does your coin tell you?
I'll flip the coin. Smack it down. Look at it. Yes.
Oh. It's pretty nifty.
I
Wait,
don't
why
know.
didn't you use the coin before?
What?
Why didn't you use the coin before? Why didn't we just like walk through all the doors? Why do we have to go check anything if you just have a coin that tells you all the stuff?
No, it does. It's pretty vague and doesn't always tell me. It's only specific questions too. It's a very, very drama coin.
All
So
right.
as you descend down the stairs discussing the merits of Selwyn's definitely mundane coin into this lower chamber, it opens up into a much wider area. This chamber is a network of rooms and cages. Sets of bars running all throughout, segmenting the area into a variety of different small holds. Each of these holds, these pens, is filled and detailed very differently, looking like they were each made for a specific type of animal to keep them comfortable in a natural environment. Each of the cells also contains bowls of food and water, leaves and stones. It looks like really great pains have been taken to make them seem like a natural environment. The one in front of you, directly across, actually has several small trees that have been brought in. Their branches spread along the walls and the ceiling, forming an interlaced canopy. Beside you, on the walls behind you as you enter, are a set of wooden cupboards. Simple, one down forming a countertop and another up above that with a very plain, clean workspace between.
This place is pretty neat. Anybody have anything of interest that they think they want to look at?
I think we should take a look at the garden out here.
At the
Wait.
Looks- Well,
Plant
this out of here.
Over to the eastern side, there is an area that leads into a pen that is much larger than the rest of them. Just a massive chamber fenced off by a single set of iron bars north to south, cutting the area more than in half.
What's
And,
that way?
If you're going to head forward to look over into that room, the massive pen looks like it holds an entire forest within. Several more trees. In this area, the ceiling 20 feet tall, growing out of heaps of earth, sloped like a small hill on the back, covered in brush and undergrowth. The whole floor of this area, grasses and clovers. On the southern side of it, there's even a full pool of water, ringed with rocks to contain it against the wall in a small area. There's a single door in the center of the bars, separating the main hallway from this pen. And it's latched shut, and like all the rest of them, they seem held with simple locks. With the mechanism on your side, anything will be no trouble to open. But this one also is looped shut with lengths of wire. Now,
All these pins are empty, right?
they all look like they're empty. Yeah, you don't see anything. There's nothing in any
So-
of them at the moment. So,
That's
Lizard
odd.
Man, you said you're peeping too?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you go ahead and you and someone both make a perception check. And
Right.
then if you're looking here, Ara, where are you looking?
I was with One and Lizard.
Okay, you can make one too then. The three of you are all here in this room.
Bunch of grass.
Sleeping. And then Zerg. Zerg's just kind of enjoying the area, walking around. Oh wait, you were Ara. You were detecting magic. My bad.
Muted.
Ara, this
Classic.
you can roll me one as well for your side of the area here.
Wow.
Well, she would know this kind
30.
of stuff.
Yeah, that's
She
fair.
would,
This
yeah.
makes sense to be the place that would be familiar to her. So, Selwyn, as you peer into this pen here, You can see that this one on the eastern side actually is not empty. By the pool, there actually look to be a pair of big cats nestling beneath one of the trees, hiding amongst the undergrowth. Two leopards, almost. Jet black. But as you look at them, you can barely make out little wisps of smoke curling up around the leaves they're hiding under. And as you look at them, already both looking at you, they see you, see them. And as they do, with a snarl,
Got eel penders.
they come forth from the underbrush here. One of them out to the side and one of them up towards the bar, snarling and reaching one paw through towards Ara, who was fortunately definitely too far away for it to reach with his little cat hands.
So why do they have these things all locked up? I thought this place was supposed to be like some kind of animal sanctuary or something. I don't know.
I think there's something very wrong here.
Hey, lizard.
Yeah?
What are those?
They look like cats.
Oh, they're bigger than cats.
I don't know how many. I mean, I've seen plenty of big cats.
Leopards, panthers, tigers. It could be any of them.
So as you're
I don't
looking,
know.
the one that had come out to the side throws itself at the bars next to Selwyn, slamming against them. And you can see the simple iron structure kind of wave a bit. It's not actually attached floor to ceiling. It's just mounted in the ground.
Orbis.
We
As
should
they-
leave.
As they come close to you and stop trying to hide, these wisps of smoke become rolling clouds emanating out of them, darkening the area and making it difficult for the three of you to see.
Oh, and I don't think these are normal cats.
I need
I
you
don't like
guys
'em.
to roll me some initiative here. As
I don't
we
like 'em.
Handle what we're doing in response to this.
I would like to cast leave. Uh-oh. I'm not good at casting leave.
Yeah.
To cast leave.
You're not a magician.
Yeah, I am. What do you mean?
I've got to see you cast magic once.
That is patently a lie, and I am insulted.
I've only
Yeah.
seen Arvis cast
Oh
lightning.
no!
magic.
I'm sorry, Zerg's on the other side of the room, but absolutely it fits. Zerg has no idea anything's going on.
I
He's at
heard
the other
something.
end. He's just looking at these pens like, where are the animals? This is the worst zoo ever.
This is boring. Who comes to these things?
But you would hear, what? Literally 50 yards away 50 feet away down a hallway, some snarling cats banging up against the bars. As this one throws itself at the bars in front of Selwyn, and they shake.
No.
It's going to slam up against them once, and then again. The creature is seeming fairly powerful, but appearing to be in a pen that was purpose-built to keep them there. Though the iron bars shake and wave in a somewhat unsettling manner. They don't appear to be giving. Does not stopping the leopard from trying. Arabus.
Okay.
You can hear this down the hallway next to you. The slam and the snarling of these big cats as they bash themselves against the bars of their enclosure trying to get out.
So I'll walk down the hallway to behind the lizard here to see what's going on. Is there anything I can do to try to figure out what the black smoke that's emanating out of these things is not supposed to
You
be
can use
happening?
one action to try to recall knowledge
Okay.
about these creatures here. All right, what's your nature modifier?
My nature modifier is 9.
Do you see? Looking at them They appear, as far as you can tell on the surface, to look like normal leopards. And the smoke that's coming out of them doesn't seem to be bothering them. Beyond that, they seem to almost have some amount of control of it. As you see, as they leave their cover, as you come around this hallway, it starts coming out in much greater amounts. But you've no idea what could be causing this. That's certainly not normal. And Wolf 13 Red, not content to throw a huge amount of bits and just a heap of hero points towards Arbus. Another 1,000 bits. I'm gonna put 2 villain points in the pile as well.
Oh boy.
They got
Yep,
He's
the
not
ante.
done.
Oh.
You have 1 action left, Arbus.
Are they both attacking the gate or just the top
They
one?
both are seemingly fairly desperately trying to get out of the gate.
They're hungry.
Okay. I am going to attempt to talk to the one above. And I'm gonna... I know he can't answer me. Okay. I'm just going to ask him to calm down, please. We don't mean you any harm. Relax. We figured this out. Diplomate.
And as you try to diplomate toward this thing, you know you're well aware of the sway you have over animals, the kind of control you have, but it's as if this leopard doesn't even hear you, as if some
Really?
blind hatred is driving it.
Oh,
On the
that's
bottom
very
here, throwing himself up against the bars with similar fervor. Having had a second now as he reaches through, trying to get a paw to Ara,
I am not a chew toy.
is actually going to tip the set of bars over entirely,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
releasing the 2 of them. And now I would say we have a problem.
I'm not a chew toy.
Well, he does not agree that you are not a chew toy. As with the gate now down, he lunges forward towards you, just lashing out with his mouth and his paws together in a full-bodied pounce to try to bring you down. And his jaws snap towards you with a 25.
Oh, that hits. He gets me.
And you are a small little potato man, so he doesn't really have any difficulty getting his mouth around you. And as he opens his mouth and lunges at you, you can see wisps of flame licking up his throat. And you are going to take 14 damage. Are you weak to fire?
No, actually.
Okay. Part of it is fire. You don't have any interaction with fire damage at all?
Nah.
Okay, then just suffice it to say part of it is fire. And as he jumps onto Ara, full-bodied as a pouncing cat, he is going to grab him and pin him to the floor. This leopard now is on Ara. Lizard Man.
I am going to try and pull Ara out of the maw. I'm going to grab one of Ara's feet and try and tug him out of the maw of the leopard.
Okay.
Hopefully not tearing him in two or anything like that.
Yeah.
Break easy. Please be careful.
So
So, give me an athletics check.
okie dokie, 24.
And tug of war on my body right now. Please be careful.
Okay.
With a 24, as you begin to pull on Ara, you are certainly fairly strong, but this leopard's got a good grab of him. But Ara, if you attempt to escape on your turn, Lizard Man is definitely going to give you a +2 to your escape.
And then I'm going to, as I'm holding onto Ara, I'm going to push.
You don't have to stay here because realistically, this is all largely simultaneously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I'm just
going
saying, if you wanna-
to push
yeah,
Arabis back into the hallway a little bit.
They turn,
Make some
grab
room.
on Ara, and just shove Arvis. Make me another athletics check at a -5.
-5. Okay.
Arvis
30
is
minus
19.
5. 25.
25 will succeed, and you will shove Arvis
Wow.
back down the hall.
Okay. Selwyn, there's now room. And I'll put up my shield.
Just holding out a potato with one hand, shield up with the other. Ara.
Oh boy, it's a athletics to try to get out, right?
So escaping can actually be done one of 3 ways. You can attempt to do it with athletics, with acrobatics, or with an unarmed strike. Any of those 3 actions can be used to attempt to escape. But it is an action that has the attack trait. So whether you succeed or fail, it does give you the multiple attack penalty for stuff you do afterwards.
Yeah, that's very correct. I guess I'm going to attempt the best I can with my acrobatics to escape.
All right, acrobatics, that's versus his athletics DC.
Ooh boy. Ooh, that's a roll.
Oh god.
Ha.
That was,
There it is, folks. Got a 12 total.
12 is not going to do it. 14 with Lizard Man's assistance. But you are small and you easily kind of fit in this thing's jaws. Your sort of hard wooden body not doing you any favors here because you are locked in the teeth.
Now I got another question. Can I cast a spell while I'm in this state?
You absolutely can. You need to succeed at a DC 5 flat check to try to cast while you are grabbed. But otherwise you can. So you basically have a 20% chance to lose the spell as you can't do the somatic components correctly while you're being ragdolled.
Well, I'm going to attempt to cast something to make me bigger. So I'm going to attempt to cast animal form.
Okay.
So roll the flat
Okay, flat
D5.
succeeds.
And I turn into a deer, something bigger in its mouth.
So you are now larger, but it's still holding on to you.
It's still holding on to me. I'm panicking, folks.
All right, Zerg, you hear
Yes.
something down the hall.
I'm still looking for the animals. This is very boring here. Upon hearing some kind of commotion, like just sort of sauntering over, no real hurry. This is did you find the animals?
yes, help!
They have kelp. This is
No,
boring.
help! And then in 2 short words, animals kill!
Zerg hearing the word kill. Oh, yes. I'm gonna. Yeah,
I
how
know,
close
get him.
can I get?
Looks like 2 strides will get you up in front of Lizard Man. Storming into the room. It would take
Yeah,
you a
let's do
third
that.
action to get in range of the one that, as you come in here and see that he's grabbing onto a deer. R is nowhere to be seen. But that gets you in range of the North Leopard.
Yeah. Do I have a third action?
Sure do.
It was 2 to move. Okay. Kill. Help is what you say. See, I misunderstood. I thought you said help.
You
I
got
thought
it in the end. All good.
It's very funny. See, I didn't hear you because I was in the other room.
Yes, now please kill the animals.
Yes, but you're not laughing. Is
Ah!
okay. Fine. I kill. All right. I'm just gonna
Yes, Mio.
see if I can grapple this fucking thing.
Okay, give me your athletics check.
You know, I thought it was very funny situation. I could do comedy about this. You don't seem to think this is funny, whatever. Oh, no, athletics. Sorry, that was acrobatics.
Okay, well, that's a 19 on the die.
That's a 26 athletics.
So
great.
realistically, it would be 4 higher than that. 'Cause I'll keep the 19 that you rolled because it's hilarious. So you walk up, and you don't just kind of grab onto this. No, roll 20, that icon. You don't just grab the cat. You don't just like grab by the scruff or grab hold of it. You wrap your arms around this thing's body and are literally holding it up off the ground against your chest. It actually can take no actions except to try to escape you. It is pinned. That's a critical
You know, I thought this was very funny.
That is hilarious.
Help, they rhyme. Yes. You're
It'd be
supposed to
funnier
know
if we were
things.
fighting a kelp.
As a poetry person, you tell the funny songs and stuff. You think you understand this, you do not. Whatever.
No, I get it. Totally hilarious. Whew, and I'll like wipe some sweat off my brow. Jeez. And I'll look down at this one, try to get its attention. You let that deer go right now, mister! And I'll mean glare him for a 24.
With a 24, I mean, the cat seems to understand and tries to scoot a little to the side to put the large deer it's now holding onto between itself and you.
And then, noticing it does not release it immediately, I will do what any other good officer in my position would and zap him with an electric arc.
Okay.
That and also his friend up top.
Yep, and let me find the reflex saves. All right, so the one that is currently holding on to Ara is currently holding on to Ara and gets a 13.
Is a failure.
The one that is currently being wrestled by Zerg is largely shielded by Zerg and gets a natural 20 and critically succeeds.
Unfortunate. However, the lower one gets sapped for 6 damage. I have had higher.
And as this lightning strikes, the smoke around the creature kind of flashes a bit. There doesn't seem to be much to the creature that really conducts any form of electricity. You feel like it's so resistant as to almost be immune to that attack.
Oh.
Now this leopard is not happy. You picked up the cat that does not like being held. He's not happy about it. So what's your athletics modifier, Zerg? Because he's going to try to break out. Let me look real quick what the best way you can do that is.
4.
Your athletics.
11?
11 probably
should be
sounds
better
right to
than
me.
that.
So he needs a
Yeah.
21. So he is going to attempt to break away from you. He's very unhappy about the whole situation. And he's going to get a 15.
Oh, wait, I beat him. What's he trying to break away? Shh, settle down. Funny joke, what you do? You try to bite? Shh.
So he's going to continue struggling to attack trait, so -5 for a 20, which is lower than 21.
Yeah.
I told you to stay quiet, what you doing?
You know what? I'm going to use one of Wolf 13 Red's villain points and retry that second roll there. Come on, buddy. That's a 12. That's not better. Okay. So
What did I tell you?
You should
Third
use another
action.
bullet point to really show us.
third action, also another 12.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous. You need to stop. You understand?
He's very upset, and he's trying to flail and writhe, but Zerg just has his arms around, like one arm around his front legs and one arm around his back legs, and he can't get his head around to bite him. So he's just struggling and yowling and generally very upset, clearly.
You're embarrassing yourself. Just stop.
Arabus.
Oh boy! All right, so so I am kind of puzzled by what's happening. Walk back into the fray after getting pushed out of the room,
Yeah, sorry about that.
right up behind Lizard, and I'm going to lay a hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to say, I don't think they know what they're doing. You don't need to kill them.
Oh.
Try to save them, and then I'm gonna give you guidance on your next whatever you do.
I'm getting conflicting signals here, but I will try and do as best I can.
And I'll put my shield up just in case.
So Slipper on the bottom, still very
Doesn't
much.
Lizard go first?
Oh, Lizard does go first, you're right. Lizard would, it's a tie. Lizard goes first.
Okay, kitten. I'm going to go around here, over on the other side of it. Okay. walk over to the other side, and I am going to also try and grab the kitten because I was told that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And Zerg seems to be doing a great job. So, 21.
The 21, the kitten is grabbed. So you just kind of have like a hold of its tail or back leg or something.
I grab its back leg and it's holding onto Arbus, and I just kind of like am lifting, trying to like pull it off, but holding it. Or no, it's holding it to Ara.
It's a chain grab. No, we're making a centipede here.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, Mr. Cat, if you could let go of the branch or the deer, I would be much obliged, and I'll just intimidate it. This is for a 7. It's exactly how it goes,
Yep.
and I'm really not very.
It's absolutely not intimidated. It's still kind of afraid of Selwyn, but it is absolutely not afraid of you at all. So, Ara, as it still has you grabbed here, it is going to attempt to do what cats do, and that is just rip and tear at the now much fleshier, if larger, deer that it has in its jaws. You are flat-footed, so that's going to be a -2 to your AC. He is frightened, so we have -1 to his attack. So he is going to savage you with his jaws. That was not the right number. For an 18.
Minus the hits. Yes.
So as he tears at you, while he has a hold of you, he does seem to be significantly more effective. This is largely what cats do. They pin something down and they just rip them apart. And you are going to take 17 damage.
That's 5. That's cool. Ooh, on 102.
And then its claws are ripping at you as well. Blah. Its front paws savaging for a 24.
That definitely does it.
And that is going to be a further 8 damage.
Oh, womp.
Oh, womp, with womp womp, the large deer falls unconscious as the leopard lets go of it, just desperately trying to kind of kick back against Lizard Man here.
Are you your temp points by chance? I don't know if that makes a difference. You get 5 when you turn it in.
He did.
You did, yeah.
I did that.
Which would be this high. And he is going to try to escape Lizard Man, just trying to pull his back leg away from you with a 19.
That does not work. I've got a pretty good grip.
You got a pretty good hold of the back leg. As he lets go of Ara, he turns around to be equally upset with you. So Ara's initiative is going to go up here, and you did not go down to a crit, so you are dying 1. Zerg. Still holding this other letter.
Now, Zerg's kind of enjoying holding this thing. He doesn't want to let go. But Ara's down. This is problem. I'm gonna throw the one I'm holding at this. They've got roll 20s arguing me. At the other one, there it is.
Okay, throw the cat you have towards the other cat.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 2 actions. Give me an athletics check. Because you critically succeeded.
Critical success!
Alright, well, what do you do?
Oh my god.
So the cat's still sort of trying to fight with me. Okay, you don't want to listen. I have to put you in timeout. I'm sorry. Sort of whirl around on the spot, 360, using my momentum to just whip this thing at the other cat.
And
with the
then just,
intent of just knocking them both over.
just roll me your natural attack damage, like your normal punch damage. And they're both gonna take it.
8.
Max damage, of course.
Maximum.
So they're both going to take 8 damage as you beat one large cat with the other large cat. Pretty solidly, only to realize that they are fairly large cats, and these large cats are about 85% muscle. And beyond that, these seem to be unnaturally resilient. They don't seem, like, clearly they're not entirely natural. Whatever this strange power, this smoke within them is making them much more durable. They're pissed, but that's not going to be close to taking them down. Now, you have 1 action left. If you don't use it to continue holding this cat, you let him go at the end of your turn.
85% muscle. Zerg is 100% muscle.
He doesn't even have a skeleton. It's just meat.
It's just all meat.
I punch it.
Okay.
Oh, no, I should continue holding. I'll use it to
Continue holding.
continue
Give me athletics. -5 for being your second check this turn.
19.
You continue holding it. You lose some of your grip. He's not completely immobilized. He's not totally pinned anymore. As you slam him into the other one, but you still got a hold of him. He's still held.
He's used the weapon.
Selwyn.
Grab people are flat-footed, right?
Yes.
All right.
And both of them are grappled, so they are both flat-footed.
Yes, but I would not like to be in range of both of them, so I'll choose the place where I'm not. I'll walk up, and I will try to stab it with Clara, my favorite. And for a
There's a reason.
Ooh!
and natural 20.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, it's taken how much damage?
It takes 20.
20 damage. As Zerg may not have quite as good of a grip, but it's more than enough to kind of hold it in place upside down as you skewer Clara through this leopard.
And I would like to try again once more with Clara, since he's already holding onto it, and I don't have to do any fancy footwork for it too. For 8 out of 30.
rolling twice! Wow! What are you doing to it? What are you doing to it?
Well, Zerg is honestly holding onto it so well. I really casually walk up to it, stab it in the face once, pull out the sword, and like it's wrathing around. I look to Zerg for a moment, he gives me a brief nod, and I just stab it again, and it goes down.
The nat 20 into the nat 20, the truest of combos. And he was up next, so nice economy denial. Aravis.
I'm more focused on Ara being on the ground. I couldn't possibly treat him from here, can I? Because he's kind of like...
He's around the corner from you, but yeah, as the leopard kind of left him go and he tumbled over against the wall, you could absolutely, you're adjacent. You could do it around this corner from some safety.
All right, well now...
So you do not have to battle medicine or anything like that. As he is dying, there is just an untrained first aid medicine action with a flat DC that just makes him stop dying.
Okay. But, I mean, battle medicine would effectively do the same thing.
Battle medicine would effectively do the same thing. Just if you didn't want to use
Yeah.
it once per day on him.
The only downside of battle medicine is if you do bring him up and he goes back down, that's bad times.
Yeah, because I only get it once a day. All right, well, then, I'll go with first aid then.
Okay. So the first aid check is 15 plus his dying value, which is only 1, so it's a DC 16 medicine check as 2 actions. You have a bandolier, right, with your medicine kit?
Yeah, correct.
So it would be 2 actions total.
All right, fumbling around for my stuff and trying to maintain focus with everything going on. Try to save Ara with a 30.
Solid. So he still unconscious on the ground, but now stable and wounded 1 rather than dying. It leaves you with 1 action.
Can can I start trying to drag him into the hallway with me? I mean,
He's unconscious. Yeah, I'll just let you drag him back 5 feet if you want to.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause, like
Perfect.
he can't resist.
Yeah, I didn't think.
Thumbs up to the druid.
Lizard man.
Okay, Ket. You just killed Aura, and I am not a fan. So I am going to hold up its leg, the leg that I still have grabbed, and just kick it in the head.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
You got cloud feet too.
I'm glad I'm in the other room for this.
19.
19 will hit.
For 5 damage, and then I am going to do the same thing again for -5 or -4, so 20 for 10 damage.
Yep.
And then I'm going to try and grab the other back leg as the cat is like squiggling around a whole lot.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm going to try and maintain the grab. Well, probably not. With 17 minus 10 is 7 or minus 8, so kind of slippery
So
now.
what's the total?
Is
The grab is -10. It is
9.
-10.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so 17.
So 17 or 7?
7. 7.
So with a 7, as you attempt to keep your hold on it, it whips around, knocking you to the ground because that's a critical failure.
Gotcha.
And then Nara is just unconscious, no further danger. And this leopard's pretty mad at you right now. So, as you lay on the ground, he is just gonna leap on top of you immediately, wasting no time at just tearing away. And you are flat-footed from being prone, so you have a -2 to your AC. And his jaws come down towards you for a 29.
And I snap my shield as he kind of comes toward me. I snap my shield in front of me, and so it just hits.
Okay. And he is your shield largely in the way. He's gonna bite you for 5. You don't have any interaction like weakness or resistance to fire damage, do you? Part of it is
I
fire.
do not.
Okay. And then, as he is on top of you here, he is just going to continue attacking with his claws as well, just raking down your armor for a 25.
That also hits.
And that will deal you a little bit worse at 8 damage. And now that he is solidly got his position on top of you, you are grabbed as well, the situation having been reversed.
Get the cat, get the cat, get the cat.
Zark.
Yes. I was gonna saunter over and try and just pick it up by the scruff, like a kitten.
Give me an athletics check.
25.
25, you will grab its scruff, but you don't get quite a good enough grip to like pull him up off of Lizard Man. So you have him grabbed and he has Lizard Man grabbed.
I'll pull him back. Another athletics check?
Another athletics
So I've got him by
check.
the scruff and just like rip him off a lizard, basically.
Yeah, another athletics -5 per second when it's round.
Ooh, 9.
He's a pretty big, strong guy, and you don't have a great position for a grip on this one. 9.
Lizard, it's
you
okay, I'm helping.
as you try to pull, you're just gonna completely lose your grip on him, and
Oh,
he's-
shit.
he just pulls away from you, and he's not grabbed anymore. You got 1 action left. That's a critical failure.
I guess I will attempt another grab.
-10,
Oh god!
and he just boots you to the ground with a natural 1. So you're now prone behind him. A clown fiesta developing in the corner of the room. Selwyn.
We are
Well,
trained fighters.
it's an honor to hear, and I assume even a knocked over lizard is still a deadly lizard. So
Yes, you are
I am
flanking from there.
See, that is the kind of statement I like to hear. And once more, the bloody claw strikes again. For a 15.
15 is not quite going to do it, as this leopard in pain is just kind of blindly flailing. And as it becomes more damaged here, This cloud of smoke coming out of it seems to intensify, getting more severe.
In that case, let's bring it down right now. For another stab, 24 minus 4, that is a 20.
Make me a flat concealment check.
Even low light vision?
Yeah, because it's smoke, it's not darkness.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
So it's just a flat d20.
13.
All right, you're good.
In a fray.
So with 8 damage, becoming injured, certainly, but still angry and tearing. Arbus.
There's no way to treat him in combat. That's not.
But yeah, it's a
Wow,
10-minute
that's
activity,
expensive.
yes. It's just beyond the scope of combat.
Because it's too fast. Okay.
Let's put 100 rounds.
Yeah, it's 100 turns. Like, unironically, it's 100 turns. Playing Civ 6 on Marathon.
Well, I'm gonna walk past Ara into the room, see the commotion going on here, the black smoke emanating out of this thing, and plead to the beast one more time to surrender. You will be killed. I'm trying to save you. And that's all I'm gonna do.
And as you speak at it, you can tell. Give me a nature check.
Okay. $19.
With a 19, with how injured this leopard is, it should be fleeing. It should be retreating back into its pen here, where it feels safe, running away, trying to escape. But it is still just savagely tearing at Lizard Man. This is not just unnatural biology. This is unnatural behavior. There is something terribly off about this leopard, down to its very instincts. Lizard Man.
I'm going to get up. Because I don't like being on the ground.
You can certainly do that.
I'm going to get up.
Still got a hold of you, but you can get up.
Okay, well, I'm going to grab whatever it is grabbing me with and grab it back.
All right. Maybe an athletics check. They're called the Leopard Wrestling Champions.
Of course.
Yeah. What was that? 20? 31?
So, you're grabbed. It is restrained. Its jaws like clamped down on your arm. And then you're wrapped around the thing, so it can't do anything. It can't bite you any further. It can't claw at you.
So I'm going so it's on my arm, and I hug its back, with my head, like its head to my chest. I'm just going to lift it up, and show its like kind of like lift it up and show its belly. Okay, this cat is like a serious problem. I don't know what I can really do. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to try and squeeze it into my chest. And even with its mouth around my arm, I'm just gonna try and crush it against my chest a bit. You know, try and make sure it's...
Hug it aggressively.
Hug it tightly.
Lizard Man is so savage.
All right, are you trying to do non-lethal damage? Is that what we're going for? Or...
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, it sounds like maybe you're trying to, like, just, I don't know, hug it to unconsciousness.
Yeah, it'd probably be non-lethal just because of the
so
way
roll me an
it
attack
is.
roll at a -4.
Okay, and then it's -4 again? Or no, -4 total.
You have the multiple attack penalty and then -4 for being non-lethal. So yeah, it'd be at a -8.
Okay. Well, it's 22.
Well,
With 19
that's
on the
fine.
back.
So,
For 8 damage.
so what happens?
Exactly. I pull my arm back, and it actually slowly suffocates the cat. Like, it has all of the air is
Wait.
getting pushed out of the chest, and I just hold it, and it just kind of goes limp as its airway gets cut off as its head kind of gets pushed back into its neck.
You somehow choke out a smoldering lizard
Yes.
with the world's most aggressive hug. just leaving it.
Suffocation, just so you know, is not non-lethal.
Well, it is if you do it short enough, right?
I mean,
Yeah, you just stop before they're dead, and then it's not lethal.
Yeah. He
cat-
would be able to tap out, you know.
very tiny window right there. Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
Leaving this cat unconscious here on the ground, on top of the iron fence that it had knocked over. But visibly, clearly, as the smoke becomes quite thin again, wisp straining from its body, clearly still breathing as Lizardman puts it down. His body slick with blood, mostly his own. 50-50.
So, Arbus, see that?
Good job, Lizard Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing that is going on here is.
It's exactly, the level of smugness is exactly what I expect from his token.
Yes. He's very proud of himself.
Mm-hmm. Being a good person over here. Okay, how do we fix this leopard thing? How do we make it so it's not like an evil smoky demon?
I don't think you can, right?
I don't know. I don't even know what's happening other than that usually they can understand me, but it's like my connection to them.
Well, Arbus knows how to fix it, or else she wouldn't have told me not to kill it.
No,
I don't think that's necessarily true.
it's
No. She told me not to kill it because she thought it was like, you know, a good cat. It just happened
well.
to
I
be
told
kind
you
of
not
sour.
to kill it because I don't believe it's fully in control of what it's doing.
So how do we fix that?
We asked the Storm Lord for assistance.
Okay, so I guess I'll get the rope. I don't have any more rope because my rope I used to tie up the other guy outside.
There's plenty of other cages we could put here.
Did
in.
you see that it knocked over all of the bars? It
You
is
did.
noted
You provoked him. He was upset.
by standing here looking sexy.
Yeah, we really didn't do anything. We noticed them, and then they went on us.
I need to tend to Aura if anyone else needs attention.
I think Blizzard's the only one really, right?
That's
Oh
a-
yeah, I
that's a
could
little
use some, I could
ripped.
use some. You know, these cats were actually quite clawy. And they had lots of teeth.
It's a very, very angry.
I think we should try and tie up this tiger though, or this leopard.
I think I should skin this other tiger.
There's cages. With the mini cage.
We could tie it and then put it in the cage. We could also put a muzzle on it, and then we would have much less problems next time we tried to get it out of the cage.
I think it's just gonna break whatever muscle we put on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not if we put it around the nose and not inside the nose.
Yeah, then it's just gonna go like, "Rah," and then break it.
Did you like having a muzzle on you?
No, that's
Yeah.
why we'd put the muzzle on it.
I'm
Because it's
just
very
saying.
effective. I've tried, and it's like really hard to open your mouth. Like most of your muscles go for like the chomping and not for the opening.
I think you're thinking of crocodiles.
It would work the same. I mean, I have kind of a crocodile mouth.
So as we're discussing this, I imagine Arbus is already pulling out her healer's kit, trying to bring Aura back to consciousness, and with her ability treating Lizard Man as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of you doing during this brief respite after the battle?
I would like to
Waiting
start skinning this dead cat.
Jesus. Are you gonna make a coat?
Yeah, and it's gonna look awesome.
All right, make me a survival check.
Shit, I'm not very good at
Assuming
this.
Arbus isn't gonna like, he's just kind of busy, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm kind of distracted.
That's a 5. I'm gonna ruin this belt.
Yeah, I mean you get a knife into the thing, and
Can I
mean,
stop when I notice I'm about to like fuck it up?
Yeah, you've clearly never skinned anything in your life, but
Yeah.
you just assumed it would be like, oh, I just saw the hide off. And you managed to work your way through over the 10 minutes she's working, about halfway down the chest, leaving just an absolutely jagged, shredded hole. All the various cuts across this where Clara had been pierced through or been stricken by everything else and held by Zerg, and all of that just sort of together, and you end up with one side of the thing, just a completely ragged mess of hide, and just sort of give up on it around the time Arbus finishes her job here. Arbus, are you going for the trained or the expert threshold here?
Let's go with the expert.
Big heals.
Brave.
Let's see it. Only got
You have a lot of
hero
hero points. Yeah.
Oh, and
Well,
speaking of that, I think a
such
session
comes
reroll.
the time of the hero points.
Session reroll, you say?
Yeah, session reroll
But
for
yeah.
this one. Let's try that again.
See, easy.
Much better.
26.
With a 26, you would use the best of your abilities here. After a minute or so, Ara's form reverting back to his normal little wooden puppet state. You kind of have to wait for that before you can really start treating him, I suppose. But both him and Lizard Man would gain 2d8 plus 10 health back over the course of the 10 minutes.
Maybe we should take care of the entire hour.
Unless you want to stay the entire hour.
14 HP for the 10 minutes. Or we could just keep it going, I guess.
I think you should. The plant was very, very wounded.
Did look kind of hid. I mean, he's
Since you're pulling out all the stops and you managed to succeed, it feels like a good time to, well, make use of the best of your abilities, right?
Yeah, with
Okay, I
your
will continue then.
with your success there, you can tell that Ara is still pretty gravely injured. And Ara, you'd wake up in the hallway here to the side between these two smaller little pens.
Adding that to the things I don't like. Cats are no fun.
No, he got you pretty well, but don't worry, I've got you now.
Over the course of the next hour, you would restore another 14 health to both him and Lizard Man. Able to stitch up near all of Lizard Man's wounds and bring the little wooden potato mostly back on board. He's definitely no longer in any real danger of death. Your wounded condition is gone. It gets removed when you get treated normally. So, after a near immediate rest, no one comes in or out of these pens. Nobody comes by over the course of that hour. The area seems to be almost wholly just abandoned, and after that great amount of time that you're spending having to treat everybody, Selwyn, I can see, looks like she's getting a little bored.
No, I was
Wandering
more
off.
being on watch.
Being on watch. Well, you got bored, on watch. You're a gnome. They're largely the same thing.
Yeah.
You poke around a bit in some of the cupboards and whatnot while you're making sure nobody's coming through the store, making sure nobody's going to surprise you. And looking through these two little stations on either side of the entryway, it looks like it's a bunch of various medicines that are all labeled with complicated names you probably don't recognize. An assortment of various types of animal food with some preserved bits of meats and vegetables for different types. Gauze, bandages, the equipment for several healing kits, and some sutures, small scissors, just a whole lot of veterinary care materials in here.
Right.
In addition, there are a few sets of gloves and aprons in one of the lower cabinets. One of the sets of gloves set aside from the rest. Many are very simple, seeming to be made of just a thick, hefty burlap. And a couple of pairs are reinforced, heavy leather, looking like they'd be almost impossible to bite through. But one set aside is much softer, much lighter. They're pure white and very thin, emblazoned up across the back of each hand with the holy symbol of Gazra. Not defaced, as they should be.
Ooh, that's cool.
The dewdrop hanging from the single leaf.
I will grab those gloves and show them to Ara and ask if he can detect magic on these.
Or it's pouty, but he detects magic. He casts detect magic.
Well, good
Let's see
news. While you're waiting for this hour of healing to pass, you can unravel the magic inside these gloves, as they certainly give off a magical signature. So what do you use to attempt to identify things? Arcana?
I used
You have nature, right?
nature.
What's
Just
your modifier?
+7.
+7.
+7.
Okie dokie. Let me, oops. Accidentally hit tab. These gloves are relatively simple, but they are enchanted with a fairly mild effect. They amplify your ability to commune with animals, and as a matter of fact, these were the final showstopper if the super heavy please don't bite me gloves failed, as these forge it's almost a mild enchantment against animals that you touch with this, willing peace into them and ideally preventing them from biting you at all.
Ara goes from being very upset about being mauled and gets super excited as he starts rattling all that off. And looks back to Arbus, then back to Selwyn, saying, I think Arbus would really like those.
Those seem rather convenient.
They just magically make them more friendly?
Calm is maybe a better word than friendly.
Now also look back to Arbus
Like that.
and say, oh, I've been meaning to give this to you, and I take the amulet that I identified, the thing that helps heal. I don't think I ever got a name for it, and hand it to her, saying, put this on your armor, attune it, it'll help when you need it to help. That little weird pendant.
Yeah, the one that prevents you from critically failing a healing check.
Yes.
Amulet. Okay. Prevent failing critically.
Once. Talismans are consumable. But if you critically fail a medicine check, after you affix that talisman to your armor, you can burn up its energy to regular fail instead. Because generally, critically failing medicine checks is bad.
Now all that's left is those bracelets. The mystery eludes him.
Yep.
You have a
You said
couple
that-
of things that you haven't figured out. You have the bracelets as well as that coyote fur cloak that you got in the crypts as well. And a
Forgot
few
he grabbed
alchemical
those.
bottles that would need crafting checks to identify.
A little
The,
outside my area of
The silver
expertise.
vial that the priest with the worm beast had, and the thick black one from the entryway.
Well, during that hour we're getting treated, can I attempt to identify at least the bracelets I have on my person? Plant.
You absolutely can.
Yeah,
So
I would-
let me roll one of those again.
The eternal mystery.
Good news, friend. The eternal mystery is solved.
I'm such a genius.
As finally you manage to weave out the transmutation aura on these bracelets. And these are also a fairly simple enchantment, but one that may be much more widely useful. These make you a bit lighter, a bit more agile. While they're on you, you will have a +1 item bonus to all acrobatics checks. And you can, with a 1-action command, swell that magic to give you a +10 foot bonus to your speed for 1 minute. They are Bracelets of Dashing. As a
And
critical success.
nice. Ara's such a genius. And I get excited once again and rattle off Bracelets of Dashing super fast. Gotta go fast.
And Sullivan reaches over and goes, yoink!
She takes one. Ara's holding the other one.
And I yoink the other one
Sure.
too.
I just hold it up to her.
And I'll slap those fuckers on.
Invested instantly. All right, so after spending a fair bit of the morning finding some interesting equipment, finally identifying the mystery bracelets so I can take that off my list of things you don't know what they are.
Who had that cloak? Because I didn't. I know someone picked. What the heck is happening on my screen?
As Arbus finishes her treatment here, and takes a further 10 minutes to affix this talisman to her armor. Where to, friends? Doesn't seem to be much
command
else.
words once per day, right?
Once per day, yes. It'll last a minute. Critical success. You got all the deeds.
I want to go home.
This
Back to the
eastern
circus.
pen didn't seem to hold anything other than those strange smoldering leopards. And again, neither do any of the rest of these pens either. As glancing at it's fairly plain to see, unless there's like a chameleon or something in there, they look empty. There
look
is,
back
however, one door on the left side that leads through a solid wall into further chambers. It
Okay,
appears to be the only
Does anyone
passage
wanna go
out of
first?
here other than the way you came, though.
I guess off we go.
The rest of you?
Well, I'm sticking with lizard.
Yes, I follow.
I would like to be in front of the squishers, the castorinos.
Excuse me,
The
squishers.
yeah. Sorry, honestly, Arabis is tankier than I am.
So, Lizard Man, as you move to open the door here, the chamber beyond is about as large as all of these pens put together. It leads into a pretty decently sized square room of, dynamic light, not gem, of tiled stone. A very smooth floor with strange, abstract spiral patterns just kind of scattered throughout, evoking whirlpools or tornadoes. In each corner of the room, a small glowing orb sheds a bright, almost sterile white light throughout the chamber. And hooks, mounted across throughout the walls, hold wicker baskets with dozens of fur, felt, bone toys, all small, simple, clearly intended for animals. Now, in the center of the room, however, is something set apart from the rest of this, something very different. A large circle of spiky, angular, demonic glyphs, drawn in blood on the floor, circling what appears to be an enlarged wolf. Its fur almost blood red. As a woman next to it is through an incantation. Her words inaudible until the door is opened. But once you do, you can hear her almost praying over this beast. Offer iram and plite ea, jumentum, tu mentira demonia. This chant, this incantation, magical, not druidic. Definitely not druidic, as Arabis could tell. And this wolf, bound here, its front and hind legs both tied together, restrained in place as energy flows from these blood demon runes on the floor into it. The woman looks as the door opens, glances towards you, and hastens her incantations. The magic
her.
flowing faster as a small being that appears to be of a first just whirling air coalesces in the air near you, and then with a cry like a hawk forms into a bird made nearly of pure cloud, an elemental summoned to her defense. And this here is going to be some rolling initiative. But before we do that, I think that's a perfect opportunity for us to take our midstream break real quick. We can stand up, stretch our legs, use the bathroom, get some beverages,
Get some snacks.
and then we will return here in a couple of minutes. So as we lay this out here, Lizard Man will be going before the Blood Wolf as players win ties here. As this door opens and you all move to, well, Arbus, I believe, called out to stop this. The woman, seeing the group of you at the doorway, stops her incantations for a moment, turning towards the doorway with one hand, Sphira Flammi! And with a spell that you have seen many times before, well, at least a couple times before at this point, summons a rolling ball of fire that slides across the ground into the doorway and into Lizard Man here. Lizard Man, make me a reflex save. Don't get a 19.
27.
Much better. You got it now. You've seen this a couple of times.
I've seen this plenty of times.
You're on the page now. So you step back as this comes to block the doorway here, out of reach of the rolling fireball. And it does no damage to you. Flames don't lick forth or anything. Avoiding the bulk of the ball itself, you're completely unharmed. And the woman reaches to her back and draws forth her trident. Lizard Man.
Okay, I sprint forward to the woman. I'm like full sprint at this woman. I'm going to kind of duck under the fire, the elemental bird kind of thing, and I'm gonna try and grab her wrist as she goes for a trident. I know she's gonna get a trident anyways, but that's what I'm gonna do. For just a strike, 21.
A 21 will hit.
And then I'm going to actually try and grab her.
Alrighty, so you hit her for 6, and then give me that athletics check and a -5.
So that is a natural 20, and a -5 is a 26.
Well, then consider her restrained. She is a
I get
small
behind her
priest
and I
trying to
can-
incant some magic.
Yeah.
You're a big
Yes.
lizard.
You stop.
And that's my turn.
At the wolf, here in the circle, this ritual does not stop as you enter. He's starts to convulse a bit on the ground as the druid's attention is forced away. This energy is still pouring into him from the runes, but unable to move as his skin starts to ripple and bulge. The bird here is going to slash down towards Lizard Man in defense of its summoner. It flaps down, almost spinning its whole body around, slicing a wing down towards you like a blade for a 31 on a natural 20.
Okay. I would reflexively pop my shield up. As I see that, I just bring it up. I have my other arm around the woman, and I would make it so that it didn't get my jugular there. It would just hit.
Well, it's natural twice, so it's still going to critically hit.
Oh, right. Okay.
And this wing is going to slash through you, passing almost through your armor, shearing a bit of it and cutting deep for 16 damage.
Okay.
Before it repeats this assault again. The second wing slicing for an 18.
And that by the time the second wing comes down, I can get my shield in front of the way.
As the second one grazes across the shield, it's going to take the opportunity to soar back across the room to the far wall, which you use reflexive block, right? So it does provoke, but you can't use a reaction. Which brings us to Selwyn. Fireball blocking the doorway here.
Can I acrobatics around it?
You can reflex save around it.
Right, well, better than nothing, I suppose. I will move through, rushing through the flames. Hopefully, I'll get through without catching too much on fire.
Right, give me that reflex save.
Or 23.
Yep, you will be able to dip around the ball quite effectively. Your small frame making it easier to fit around it in the doorway.
And I'll run up to this wolf and cut the rope free and try to push it away from the runes.
Alrighty, so as you cut loose the binds with your sword here, the wolf immediately writhes, trying very much on its own to move away. It clearly does not have any interest in being here whatsoever, but it's got 2 sets of binds, 1 on each paw, so it's going to take you 2 actions to untie, at which point it will immediately, you can tell it's trying to scramble out of the circle on its own.
Alright.
Artis.
Well, that's me.
Okay, I also would like to try to get through the fireball. 3. Yeah. I'm gonna try to. Can I? You said reflex save. You
You
can
can take a reflex
acrobatics.
save.
All right. I'll do that then.
Because it does move slightly as you pass, almost with a little bit of sentience, trying to catch you. It's not simply still.
18.
With an 18, you'll be able to move through it, but you are going to be burned in the process. You're going to take 13 damage as you pass.
Okay.
Much less successful at avoiding the dancing flames and so on, unfortunately.
Ouch. And as I do, I come through the on fire, patting myself out. I look at the druid and just anger as I put my hands at my side. I'm not saying nothing. Swirling cloud begins to coalesce above her head. Crackle of thunder, and then boom, tempest surge to her skull.
Alrighty, and she's going to make her reflex save.
Yes.
That is going to be a 22 on the reflex save. So
That
again,
succeeds.
lizards, she's so covered by lizards, so held here. A lot of the lightning cracks into the floor, but she's still going to take 7 damage from the blast. And Ara. You're muted.
As I prepare to mute, I figure out I'm muted. I shout out, I start incantating it, Nathium gone. I slap Zerg on the back to give him Magic Fang. And I too try to move through the fire. So I'm gonna make my reflex save. I'm gonna pop this up for Zerg so he sees what it is.
Oh, he's gonna like this. I think he's gonna be a big fan.
Yep. Magic Fang on your unarmed strikes, your fists.
You got magic hands now.
You got magic hands and they're ready.
Fuck yeah.
And then reflex save through the fire for 21.
Surprisingly inflammable plant. That succeeds.
And nothing can outdo me in fire. I'm
Well,
gonna move.
well,
Nothing.
okay. I don't know about that one, but okay.
That's my turn.
Alrighty, that brings us to Zerg himself.
Zerg himself is going to combat roll through the fire in an attempt to look cool, I guess.
Dive right through it.
Show no fear.
0 fear.
It's
Magical
more afraid
fang
of you
fists.
than you are of it.
It's fire is weak, whatever. Stronger than fire.
I take
Athletics?
offense to that.
Acrobatics?
Reflex save.
Oh, reflex save, right. That's an 8.
An 8 is going to critically fail. So you, I mean, as expected,
Jumps into a
perhaps,
fireball.
from going to combat roll through a fireball, you are going to combat roll through the fireball. Be burnt very severely and take 24 fire damage as you
Okay,
roll.
how about I use my session reroll on that so I don't
Okay,
take 24
good
fucking
idea.
damage?
Use your session reroll.
There you go. There you go.
I should cast a different spell.
Okay, 11.
Oh no.
That regular fails, so
It's not
Better.
a
Regular fail's better than a crit fail.
it is in
Yeah.
fact. So you will take 12 fire damage instead of 24
Okay.
as you roll through the fireball, and then you're able to. You still move through it unhindered. It just burns you.
Trying to move my token. Oh, if you could just move there, that'd be
I
great.
assume it's like there-ish.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to get to. Yeah.
Ended up under Arvis. I got
Oh.
you. I got you. I know this
Oh,
page is
oh.
tough to load sometimes. I have you next between the wolf and the druid, basically.
That'll do. Do I have another turn? Is that?
You have that's only one action. Yeah, it's just a move.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
the reflex save is just part of moving through the fireball. You still got 2 actions left.
Well, shit. Do I? Have I still got flame on me? I've still got some flame.
Yeah,
I
It
just
doesn't
took
really
some
stick
burns.
with you. The magical fire of this ball, fortunately, is very contained. You get burnt by the heat as you go through, but none of it lingers after you leave.
Okay. Okay.
Not even embers on any of your. Well, I guess you don't really have any clothes. You just have a chainmail leotard. We've established this. Not even embers on your majestic mohawk.
Yeah. Well, we're going for style over pretty much anything at this point. Tumbling through the fireball, and Zerg's gonna rage out. mohawk growing, hair growing everywhere. And Raging Monkey Strike. The wolf.
The wolf?
No. The other, this bitch.
The lady. Okay, the lady.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, oh, I was
like-
trying to get away, dude.
And yeah, that's a bad, yeah.
And she
Attack.
is currently
Hit.
very restrained by Lizard Man.
And 19.
19 will definitely do it.
Raging monkey strike.
Big old, what I imagine to be a flaming monkey paw. It's a regular monkey paw.
It's a very magical monkey paw
it's
still from
it's a-
Magic Thing.
It's a flaming monkey paw from Aura's magic.
There you
It looks
go.
like flaming magic.
There you
Different
go,
fire
yeah.
magic, source irrelevant.
Yeah.
And just a big old strike down, just across the chest. Is this a tall thing? Are they tall?
Well, she's a person, so yes.
Tall enough across the chest. Raging monkey paw. 13.
And it's gonna do
Roll.
another D10 on top of that because of the Magic Fang. So roll one more D10 even.
Whoa.
Roll.
Magic Fang gives you
D10.
another damage die. So 19 damage.
19 damage.
Just a regular punch. That is a goddamn monkey strike. And she is very restrained by Lizard Man. So, relatively limited here. She's going to concentrate for a moment and summon the fireball back over to Lizard. As it sears past Arbus as she tumbles through the door, Lizard Man make another reflex save.
Okay. 24. I know these.
Yeah, you're onto this now. You're not playing this game anymore. Done. And she is going to attempt to wriggle free. Guess
Good luck.
that's going to be an unarmed strike, because sure as hell not untrained athletics or acrobatics. So she's going to fight back. And as she does, though she is a relatively small woman, maybe 5.5 feet tall, dressed in these simple robes with a light armor underneath, she has a ferocious strength as she pushes back against you, much more than you would expect. She's rather lithe. She doesn't look particularly strong. I'm gonna use the villain point. Use the villain point. Lippy Caster, thank you. Hold on. I said she's rather lithe, but doesn't look particularly strong. But be a 16 to try to wrestle away from you.
And she's like too close. Like it's hard to get the momentum behind a punch to like actually do any damage.
So she is currently very stuck. She is going to try that again. And this further attempt with a 19.
Nope. Still, she just can't get any grip.
All right, well, you're up, and she's very stuck.
Ah, idiot. I'm going to. I have her grabbed, and I'm just going to bring my knee up. Pulling her down, I'm just gonna bring my knee up and just like right into the sternum. Good old. 23.
23 will definitely hit. So,
And I am going
7
to...
damage.
Yes, oh yes, for 7 damage. And then I am going to step out of this stupid fireball, continuing to hold her, and continue to hold her. So I will roll another athletics.
Okay, -5.
So 20.
Jeez.
Well, you'll do it. She
Man,
has
people.
managed to wriggle somewhat free.
Stepping to the side was.
Yeah, you still got a hold of her. She's not completely restrained anymore. But she's at this point pretty injured, and you're still grabbing her.
And that's it.
Alrighty. And this wolf shies back away. All the way back into the far corner here. Almost nestling itself into the corner, whimpering as far as it can. Just back away from everybody, from the center of the room, from everything that's happening. And as he leaves the circle, the light in these demonic runes on the floor fades. The sigils go dark, leaving just the dried blood they were drawn with initially. Their energy wholly gone. This bird, however, is going to continue to attempt to lash down here as it sees two people just going in, and it's not particularly wise, so it's just going to fling at the closest of the two as it swoops down towards Zerg, spinning like a whirling saw blade into you. The first wing slicing down for a 30.
Oh dear.
And
What do you want from me?
the second
It just cleanly cuts off his head.
second as it spins into you, wrapping back around for a 27 on a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Did those both crit?
What do you fucking think?
Before sailing back through the air to its original position. The first strike of this bladed wing hitting you for 20 damage. And the second for 10. How much health do you get when you rage? How much natural armor or bonus health?
Oh,
6.
I get 6?
6?
Yep.
Okay.
Right, so
Roll plus con modifier.
you're gonna end up about there, fairly injured by
Yeah.
the sentient flying saw blade that is this whirling, blendered bird
That was a little rude.
sailing back
Just
to
a
his
little bit,
original his original position, and then continuing to sort of orbit around the outside here, eyeing towards Lizard Man. And as he does, Wolf 13 red throwing me. I still have 1 villain point left from him, throwing me back 1 more. Fill me back up. I got 2 and they're
Wow.
both his. Thank you. Well,
Comes
you got
full
5
circle.
and they're all his. You don't get to talk.
All right.
Selwyn.
Is that air elements within reach if I move up to it?
Yes. The room here is about 20 feet tall. It's it's about 10 feet off the ground. So actually, no, it is going to be just too high for you.
All right.
It's going to be just out of reach, really. It's near the ceiling. It's swooping
Well,
down.
in which
from the
case,
back
I'm gonna
to
kill a
back
druid. I hope it disappears.
up. All right. Druid's flat-footed, and also you're flanking, so it's double flat-footed.
Yep. It's not gonna have a good time. Clara, do your thing. 17 on the first attack.
17 will hit.
All right.
And,
For 7 damage.
And that 7 will be enough to finish her off in her injured state.
So Lizard is holding her tight, and I just come in, toss the blade from the normal position to like a backhand, and just cut the throat open, and she bleeds out.
Just drops to the ground. At least you have 1 action left.
It does. Since the elemental doesn't seem to be disappearing, I'll stare at it very evilly. You're next. We're at 29.
Oh my god, I don't know.
It is frightened too, as it sees you simply drop its summoner with such ease. Regardless of its own successes, it is sentient enough to be worried. Aravis.
There's a lot going on there. Okay, so my initial focus is on the wolf that went into cower in the corner, but my focus is needed elsewhere. Shift back, see the hits that my friend Zerg is taking. Hold up my hands open like this, close my eyes as I start to walk towards the action, and you start feeling like almost like your eyes are closed in the rain or something. And as you feel these raindrops, you start to heal up a little bit. The wounds start stitching together as I cast a heal from here.
Okay. Zerg gets some help.
That's there.
15 health
15.
from the first level heal. That does a pretty good job of making him look a lot better, to be sure. 1 action.
And I walk up to here.
Ara.
Okay, so seeing how Zerg has taken a lot of damage, Ara does the only thing he knows how to do. He flings fire at the elemental. So I'm gonna elemental toss.
All
I'm
right.
gonna do that. for 27 to hit.
Jesus.
27 is not going to do it. I'm kidding. It obviously hits. You
Okay, we're
had
leaving.
me for a
Everybody
minute.
gets it.
I was
Sorry.
Which has been a misunderstanding.
Nice.
No. 27 will hit. It will not be enough to crit, but it will
Well,
hit.
with the Frightened 2, though?
Not with the Frightened 2, not enough to crit.
Darn.
Oh, it's still 11 damage.
Still gonna take 11 damage. And
And
the
then-
creature, this elemental, is quite small. It doesn't have a lot of mass to it. As your magical fire blasts through it, it losing a pretty decent bit of its mass. It doesn't seem like it'd be able to take many hits.
And then I look back to Zerg, and I clap my hands and cast second level heal on him as it emanates from where I've already touched him with magic. For 2d8 plus 16.
Everyone's just channeling all their healing in his hair.
All of a sudden, he's in better shape than he was coming into the fight.
Yeah.
I almost lost
Before the
all my
fight.
limbs.
For 24.
24 health back. You are actually better than before the blade hit you. Where you feel all the pain of this thing slicing through you, but with Aramis and Aura behind you and Kid, your wounds are stitching together faster than this elemental can make them.
You feel the coolness of the rain hitting you, and then you feel a warmth of fire coming from within.
Zerg!
Air high five.
The R squared.
Well, I feel much better. Holy shit! What was the time difference between me getting hit and me getting healed?
Well, a round is largely simultaneous. Basically, from the top to bottom initiative, we resolve it in order of who gets to react first as like a tactical advantage of initiative, but it's all basically happening at the same time. So like as this bird is flying through slicing you, they see it coming, start casting their heals, and they are actively counteracting this thing spinning through you like a blade.
So like a total of 6 seconds.
Oh,
it all happens
something
within 6
hurts, but I don't know what. Stings kind of everywhere a little bit. I feel okay though. All right. Initial. I got hurt by that thing. I'm gonna grab that thing. I'm gonna run and jump to grab onto the elemental.
All right.
Yes.
So
Oh,
this
yes.
running and jumping and grabbing it is all 3 of your actions, because the
That's fine.
jumping up is 3 actions, or 2 actions, and the grab is 1 midair. So you get 1 shot to make an athletics check to grab the cloud. He did it. Okay. So
22.
you. What a 22 is this thing is just trying to back away. Sir grabs it out of the air.
Jump, grab. Now, do I pull it down with me, or is it
You
strong enough to hold me
absolutely
up?
do. This thing is near weightless. You
beautiful.
100% pull it down. It's still trying to fly up away from you, but you have it grabbed. Lizard man.
Excellent.
I'm
As
going
the
to run up
fireball
next
fizzles
to
out
Zerg,
next to you.
Run up next to Zerg and try and grab one of the wings off of this stupid air bird, because I'm sure that's how it flies. With a good old 26.
26 will, okay, he's flat-footed and frightened too. 26 will hit. Still does not crit.
Well, I would assume not.
Yeah.
And for 9 damage.
You would assume now with -4 on his AC. Fair. So this thing clearly, as Zerg grabs it and Lizard is slashing at it, it has a physical form. Though it looks like it is just wind, it's much like the Mephits you'd battled before. There is still a physical corporeal body that you can grab and damage, that you can rip through as this thing starts to fall apart.
So I've got my hand on the one ring, I grabbed the one ring, and I'm gonna try and grab the other one and just, kind of tear it apart a bit. Only a bit. Natural 20 though, a bit. So
A bit.
31 -4, but yes, natural 20.
Yeah. With a natural 20, that's gonna critically succeed.
And
Just slash it for 12 damage, and there's barely anything left of this. It starts to fade, more becoming almost just a flare of this cloud, this thickened mist with just these slicing blades spinning around it more than a bird at this point.
And I'll just look at up in my claws as these like really wispy feathers just kind of float away and disappear, and I'm like, what? What?
And it is going to lash down at the pair of you. Obviously, it's being grabbed, so attack 1 is going to be aimed at the insane gorilla that's currently grabbing it. The first blade lashes down towards you for a 20. Is a 20 hit?
Yeah,
You're muted.
So, sorry, I thought you were talking to lizard. Yeah, yeah.
A second blade towards Lizard Man with an 18.
And it is just kind of discombobulated. It can't really get.
And the
Reach
last, spinning a third towards Zerg with a 17. Only going to be landing one of those. And this far less dangerous than the ones I hit you with before, only dealing 6 damage this time, Selwyn.
All right, listen. Wait, sir, hold him down. I'm coming for the decapitating strike. Claiming the glory.
Tiny little bird.
Oh my god, 3 of you.
And I move over. And I'll try to decapitate this with an executioner swing. Wait, 21.
21 will do it.
I swing off this stupid air elemental's head, and I imagine it all goes into like poof, mist.
It pretty much does. It blasts less into air than it does almost a gel. Nearly invisible, very thin, half-liquid mass that split in half just plops onto the floor, clear, and splattered across the tiles.
Well then.
All right, Gray, I think it's time for you to calm that wolf.
Before you even say it, I'm already walking in that direction. Hands at my side, open hand to show I'm, submissive, just like to animal. And I'm going to just look at him and say, hopefully he can understand me. I see you are hurt. There's no reason to fear us. We don't mean you harm. Let me help you.
And this beast, this wolf here, whether or not it understands you, it certainly does not attack. It shies back away from you in fear. And as it's pulled away from this ring and you come towards it, a lot of the coloration, that blood red in its fur, has actually faded and gone back away. The skin stopped rippling and bulging. It looks now much more like a normal gray wolf that you would just find in the nearby woods, though a bit larger and with some errant streaks of red spread throughout its fur. As you get closer, it looks up at you, fixes you with its eyes. You can also see it's got 2 pinpoints of a faint red glow in the center of each eye. It doesn't growl. It doesn't seem to be hostile towards you at all, really. It's just shied back into the corner, clearly afraid.
All right. And when I get as close as I can, I'll let him take my scent. I'm not trying to touch him or do anything hostile. Just show him. And if he will allow me, put one of my hands on him with the brand new glove, a calming animal glove, possibly calm him down a little bit.
So as you hold your hands forward, his gloves on, very slowly leans out, keeping his nose a couple inches back from you to sniff. And as you reach forward towards him, he jerks his head back a bit before just lowering it down almost to the floor, almost sinking below his haunches. A little defensive, a little cautious, but allowing you. And you touch a gloved hand to this wolf's head. Now what?
Just reassuring wolf pets. Can I see if he's injured at all? Or is he just fine?
He does
now?
not appear to be injured, other than the fact that he was bound in that circle and restrained and couldn't move. whatever ritual was taking place was happening, but he doesn't appear to have been hurt at all. Far from it, in fact. The opposite, even. He looks exceptionally strong. Like I said, even a bit larger than a normal wolf at this point. As if some part of the ritual that was completed has still infused him with some power. He looks remarkably well off. Almost unsettlingly so.
Hey, Gray?
Yes, Solon.
If an animal is suffering and it needs to be put down, would you take that step?
I will do what needs to be done, Solon. Why?
Because I think that other panther, leopard, whatever it is, probably, and I'll gesture towards the circle, had the same thing happen to it.
But he
And-
was not saved before ritual, probably.
Exactly, and I believe he should be put down. I think there's no coming back from whatever that is.
But how do we know?
How do we not? If we don't, we risk it hurting others, possibly Atherton, given everything that's happened here.
Well, if we find the head druid guy, wouldn't he know this kind of stuff? Doesn't he know, like, all animals and whatnot?
That's true. We should at least wait until we find Reginald. I mean, he's still... Panther's still sleeping, I'm sure.
I mean, the cat is all tied up and in another cell, so...
I don't trust whatever we have to keep that thing in after what it did to the fence.
That's
True,
the
but
one
if it's
that almost
also
killed me,
tied-
right?
Yep.
Yes, that's the
Why?
one.
Why are you letting it live?
Revenge is not your way.
It's not revenge. It's safety of us, of everyone we know.
If somebody was making you do things you did not want to do, would you want us to kill you?
Yes.
That is... Let me ask someone else, perhaps. Zerg, if someone was making you do things you did not want to do, would you want us just to kill you? Or would you want us to try to help you?
You wouldn't be able to, is a moot point.
There's...
I'm unkillable.
He is very unkillable.
I think the campaign so far has demonstrated he is in fact
I'm
unkillable.
just gonna look at Selwyn and Lizard like I can't make my point. I don't.
I think you're looking to the wrong people for wisdom.
It's fairly secure right now. If we can't find the guy in, like, the next hour, I guess I could go kill him. But, I mean, I already went through the effort of tying up this stupid cat.
I just want to try, okay? I just want to try.
What if we take long to find Reginald? That beast sneaks up on us and bites us again. It was really hard to spot in the first
Yeah.
place.
I am here. I am the Stormborn. I will protect you.
You didn't protect me.
Are you alive?
Almost wasn't. Everything went dark.
Almost
got very
doesn't
quiet.
Count. Only in certain games does almost count, Dara. Does not count. Right?
What games?
That game sounds
Um,
awful.
I don't know any games that you would know. I wasn't allowed to play many games when I was young.
As you're talking here, the wolf kind of slowly paws up behind Arabis, and you would feel a bit of a wet, cold touch at the back of your knee as it just sort of noses at you.
Oh, hello. Look at you. You're very big now. Very healthy. You're free. Do whatever you want.
I don't believe that's the best idea.
Why?
But because if you let it outside, there's a chance it falls off the cliff. And there's no real way back, and there's probably not that much natural food, and even if there was, there's those slug creatures. I think it's better we enclose it while we figure the rest of the stuff out.
Reminder that hanging from wicker baskets all around the walls of this room, because this happened kind of right as the site exploded, are bone and wood and wicker, basically dog toys everywhere around it.
Aw.
This was clearly a play space that has just been defaced into a ritual chamber.
It's true. We could keep him very safe in one of these large cases. There's food, there's toys. And you're right. When we get this all figured out, we can do it. Return you to the wild in a safe way. If that's okay with you. I mean, I would hope, trust me at this point.
As he still has his head kind of down. He never really picks it up to look at you or anything. He just kind of huffs a bit, pawing nervously at the tile in front of him.
I gave him a dog toy.
You could give him there are many dog toys around the edge of the room. You have a whole selection.
Zerg's gonna reach into his pants and pull out what's left of his meat. Here's a treat for your dog.
Now.
Ah,
Just throw that to the wolf. That's the last of Zerg's meat. He finished the rest of it. It's really good.
So you plop this on the ground. I mean, the wolf is absolutely going to sniff toward it and just have at it.
Good
Biting
doggy.
into the mass there and ripping through it. Was left of, I believe, an entire leg of pork, whatever remains of that. Putting his front half of his body down to gnaw at the bone in the center of the thing.
Well, he looks pretty heavy.
we should find one of these cages for him to wait in while we find Reginald.
Yeah, we'll put him in the one that's not next to the other cat.
Yes, very good idea.
I think we should close this whole area off and then not allow the cats to even have the chance of coming in here.
Also good idea.
So
The reason not to give him this entire room, right?
It is the room that he was tortured and whatnot in, but I mean, I'm sure he's fine.
Probably one of the enclosures with the trees and the dog treats. Would be
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Cool. So we'll put him over there. Perfect. Now
Like I
have to
said,
go
all
find
the
that
all
other
the
guy.
access of these other pens is perfectly easy from this side. Like you're on the side with the mechanisms. It's not difficult to open up any of these and find somewhere to put this wolf for the time being. It's just a matter of what kind of habitat you want to put him in. Torches illuminate most of this area, and you've got forests, denser and lighter. You've got some areas with simple dirt or sand spread across them, some with larger rocks. On the eastern half of the chamber, you have a couple of the areas that are enshrouded in darkness. They're sheltered a bit away from the light of the torches, so the pens stayed dimmer.
How about as a act of good faith, we open them all, and I tell him he can choose which one he likes to go in.
If you can make him understand, sure.
He will. I think he understands me. The other creatures were cut off to me somehow, probably because of ritual.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna go pull a panther into a shed and close the door, and preferably.
I was about to walk off in that direction
Just
too.
Throw this panther and just pick a pen here.
Yep. Smack that door closed. Bar it as best I can.
Just seal him up with that. It now kind of makes a little more sense why that wire was looped several times around the door of the other enclosure, although the iron fence was completely toppled by their incredible strength. So Arbus goes around, opens a bunch of the various doors here. And you tell him this wolf.
I think you should choose which enclosure you would like to go in, and know that we will come back for you. We have to save someone. We have to save them first, like we save you. Then we come back, and we can leave.
And as you open them all and tell that to this wolf, you see him kind of, his head still sort of hanging, look around a bit, sniffing, and then with a brief, high-pitched whine, he just walks right up to you and boops your knee again.
I did not speak with animal today.
I don't speak wolf, but I think he wants to come with you.
You want to come with us? Don't want to stay here. Can I glean anything out of that from?
Maybe an extra check.
All right. $15.
Out of 15, I mean, you fed him, which is always a good way to get animals to follow you forever. But also, you have this empathy. You can communicate with him. He clearly did not want whatever was happening in another room. That demonic ritual is something he wanted to be a part of. And now you clearly different. He understands on some level, however basic, that you saved him from that, from something bad. And with nowhere else he knows to go, really, he's just kind of following you now.
You got a good boy. He's a good boy.
Okay.
Not as good as Cubby.
Okay, then. You will come with us. But you got to be careful now. Stay behind. Okay? Be a good
I
boy.
think it's a bad idea. Maybe we're risking the wolf's safety.
If you wanted to coerce him into one of these pens, it would not be difficult to do. He's not, like, fighting you or anything.
I give Selwyn a nod, kind of like I'm just telling him what he wants to hear. We should put him in one of these.
What are you doing?
Um,
You head in and Wolf follows after you into this small little forested enclosure.
Yeah, close him in.
You step out and close the door in front of him.
I'm sorry.
He immediately kind of puts his nose between some of the bars of the door and just huffs, sniffing a bit, sort of pawing at the ground again, anxious.
I promise you, I will be back. This is for your safety.
I'm gonna go grab some dog toys from the other room.
Oh, okay. And you gather up a couple, maybe a whole basket's worth of toys just down off the wall, and dump it in the enclosure with them. The
If there's a dog
largest
bed,
of
I'll
the
pick that
pens
up
here.
too.
There haven't been any beds or anything, but this area is not just tile. Most of the pens around here have bedding and little areas of straw or hay already from the rest. It's set up in a way that looks like it's very much intended to be comfortable for the animal, and a whole lot of care and thought was put into it. These are not haphazard by any means. Although they all seem to currently be empty, they're still in the state they were left, which is pretty well maintained.
Cool. Well, I'm glad the dog is safe. I guess we better go find this guy, and then we can come back and get the dog.
And kill the panther once it inevitably is
Save
irrevocably corrupted.
the panther, Selwyn. Save the panther.
I
You
don't
go
trust it.
to move back down this hallway. You hear some high-pitched whining from behind you, the scraping of claws on the metal bars of the door.
No!
The wolf realizes he's being left behind.
I'll be back for you.
Stay strong, wolf.
Every time you go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I'll get left behind at some point.
It's actually happened to me, yes.
You return back to the dormitory hall along the northern side of this hermitage.
Okay, so we want to keep going around this way? I'm sure it probably loops around.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Tick, 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 tick. Open all the doors.
Yeah, opening every door as you pass, just ensuring there's nothing left behind you that could be possibly threatening. Every single one of them just seems to still be more dormitories, more individual chambers. Nothing more, nothing less, with one notable exception being the door up here in the top left corner, which clearly leads to some privies. Also not super interesting.
Hey, sorry, next time you need to get a cleansing. There's a second place for you to defile.
So as you move down here, opening each door as you go,
I like this.
you do notice that one door, the one door on your left here, is actually already opened. And, well, less open's not a good word. More absolutely demolished and laying here in the hallway in front of where it once was. Ripped, smashed from its hinges, broken in half on the ground.
Could I tell if this is like, if it's ripped like from a windstorm, or if it's ripped like there's gashes in it from panthers, or if like...
Well, what are we all doing as we proceed down here? Are we going back to everyone checking these rooms, except for
Yeah,
Ara's
basically.
detecting magic?
Yes.
As you look at that, go and roll me a perception check. Zerg and Selwyn, you can as well as up at the front here.
Right. Un momento.
27.
Zerg is the
And
most
Artemis, if you're
perceptive.
seeking, you can roll one too. Everyone except Ara, because he's detecting magic.
A 17.
Oh man.
Whew, 29.
So all of you would be able to see that there are some fairly deep gouges in the wood of the door, what appear to be massive claw marks. And Zerg and Arabis would also notice that these definitely do not align with anything like a wolf or the leopard from the northern end here. In fact, they don't look like they were done by paws. The arrangement of them looks like it would be more clawed hands, and fairly large ones at that.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll. Can I switch to shield to
Yeah, you
raising
can
my
switch your
shield?
space actions whenever you want. You can switch them freely. This isn't like meant to be a restrictive system. It's just like to stop us from 27 people roll perception checks
Oh,
when
gotcha.
something happens.
Okay, I'm
It's
gonna
just a
peek my
ticker of
head
like
around
who
this door.
qualifies for what checks, basically.
I'm gonna peek in here and see if I see anything.
As you
I-
come and peek around the doorway here, you see what was clearly a library that must once have been magnificent, with tall wooden bookcases lining the room's walls, many of which have been pulled over and thrown on the ground. Books of all types and sizes spilled all across the carpeted floor here. There are occasional statuary busts decorating some of the cases that remain standing. Others have been knocked over and shattered to pieces. The floor is carpeted in shredded paper and torn parchment. And where surely tables were once used to study ancient lore, they have been smashed, flipped upside down, their legs ripped and broken off as well. And as you look in there, you can pretty clearly see the source of all this nonsense. Another one of the horned demons that you had seen down at the Church of Abadar in town. Another one of these is currently tearing a bookshelf apart in the opposite corner of the room. He does not appear to immediately notice you. He seems to be fairly preoccupied with his wrecking. But, Lizard, as you're up here, roll me a perception check.
Okay. There you go. 17. 15. 17?
17. That's weird. I don't know why I rolled twice. But 17. We rolled the first one there. I don't know why that rolled 2 times. Give me 1 second because I completely lost my text in the PDF. I have to jump around so many places. It's everywhere. Where am I freaking looking? Here we are. Clearly the demons are responsible for all of this wreckage in here. With a 17 there, you can also hear more noise of splintering and shattering wood. While it's kind of echoing through the chamber, muffled a bit by the carpet in here, you can hear another one around to the left as well, even if you can't currently hear it. Or see it, rather.
Ah. So there's probably 2 of these things. What do you guys think? Any plans? I whisper to Selwyn because Selwyn is like probably the plan person.
Just gotta whisper past Zerg.
Yeah, well, Zerg is, he's good at other
Playing a
things
good ol'
beside plans.
Well, if we're engaging in it, we should all rush at it and then hopefully surprise them. Bring it down before the second one gets a chance to react.
Okay, perfect. Sounds like a plan. I guess I will rush in at that one.
So as you rush the door here, recklessly forward with your shield raised, your clawed feet digging through the wood and paper splinters on the ground, the noise does pretty immediately attract the attention of the pair of demons in the room, who cry out, roaring in rage, as they turn to face you.
And that
And,
works so great.
That
Good start.
is going to be, well, I got you 1 square further in the room. That is going to be some initiative.
Ooh, hot 20.
Natural 20.
Fucking thing. Sorry. 10.
Ooh.
Or did it take the 16?
And the boys.
hell was that?
What's the plan? What's going on?
They are still smashing the place, so
From what I saw, I just saw lizard go charging into the room.
that is exactly what's
Not to
happening.
worry. Just gonna kill some guys. And
Arvis and
hopefully
R got
okay.
no part of that plan.
Alrighty.
It's okay, you'll figure it out soon enough.
I'm gonna scroll this over and able to see the side of the whole map, and I'm sorry, chat, it's on the edge of the map and doesn't happen sometimes. Selwyn,
Right?
at the edge of the door here, first to react.
And I see this demon, right?
Yeah, you can see the one through the doorway.
I would like to telekinetically fling one of these nail boards at its face.
There's a lot of stuff on the ground. Bro.
Yeah. While he's not prepared for 24.
Definitely gonna hit.
This will nail him for 10 damage. And realizing that in my eager to bring this down early, I did not spend the time I maybe should have to figure out what makes these guys tick. So I will try to recall knowledge using what I imagine is religion, which is a +6.
It is in fact religion, says the GM screen behind me. Alright, let me see. +6. You are clearly demons of some kind. I mean, that much at this point is apparent. But as to what, you're unfamiliar.
Okay.
Alright, lizard man.
Okay, I rush forward over to this corner, and I am going to smack this guy right upside the head. Oh, natural 1. That was fairly unfortunate. I think I'll use my session reroll there,
Okay.
because that was can't possibly get any worse. Aha! It did not get worse. Okay, so that's a 27 to hit.
27 will hit.
And I just kind of am trying to slice across for 9 damage. And then I am going to brace for impact because I know these guys hit hard. So raising my shield.
Zerg!
Muted. Zerg is going to immediately run in after and attempt to sucker punch to the back of the head with this fucking thing. I assume it's facing Lizard Man at this point.
It is. It would have turned and followed Lizard Man as he came in the room. Still with a huge mass of just crap in its hands. Broken wooden chunk of bookcase.
Run in, punch to the back of the noggin.
All right.
22.
22 will hit.
Just a poof on the back of his head. Does it notice me?
I mean, I'd say it would notice you, yes. You are
It might not.
exactly...
It looks very preoccupied.
Well, you punched it in the head, so it definitely notices, yes. Give me your damage. Give me that unarmed strike damage.
That would be an 8 to the back of the head.
Max damage master. One action left.
And then I'm gonna try and punch to the back of the head and then immediate grab if I can.
All right,
with an
athletics at a -5.
21.
My God.
21 is not going to do it. As this thing, you remember from the chapel, they are phenomenally strong. The 21, as you reach to grab it, it just kicks back with one cloven foot, pushing you back away from it before you can get a good grip here.
Does is there still flat-footed for not going first?
If you're a rogue, it's a rogue class feature.
Okay, so it's only rogues. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually it's rogues only now. The one in the
nice.
back here, seeing Zerg and Lizard Man run into the room, just picks up half of a shattered bust that it was currently destroying and chucks this stone statue across the room directly at Zerg for a 19.
Zerg's able to somehow squinch up against the wall as that flies past him.
And he's gonna reach down, grab a bit of broken table, and just chuck that as well. And a big piece of table flying at you for a 22.
Okay, well, he aimed at the wall that time, so Zerg fled up against the wall, cops a table, to the face.
And
I did so good.
that's gonna smack you for 9 damage as it just splinters across you, already pretty heavily wrecked by their presence. The other of the demons here is very angry at being clawed and punched and is pretty generally upset at what's going on. And he is going to lurch forward towards Lizard Man, not with his horns, but with his jaws. And he's going to try to bite down on the same shoulder
Rude.
for a 20.
And I remember this, and I kind of, he bites on, but he just bites like shield, and he kind of lodges his jaw onto my shield. So it does not actually do any meaningful damage.
And as he bites down on the shield, and you manage to block him here, he uses both claws to rip and tear at the boards between him and you. Clearly very angry about the fact that there's a shield in the way. And that is going to be, well, he's just mad. It's a 12 and a 12.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm in a corner, and there's like a lot of stuff around. Doesn't really do anything.
Doesn't seem to be able to get a good grip at it. So he is going to try again, tearing at it with a 26 and a 20.
The first one hits. And the second one does not.
Alrighty, and he is going to deal 13 points of damage just to your shield.
Okay. Let's
None of that
look.
spills over to you. You still get its hardness against it.
Okay, let me look at my shield stats. Okay, well, 13, the hardness
3
is
probably.
3. My
This is gonna
HP is total of 12, so...
So it's down to 2. So as he bites and pulls and rips with both claws, he tears your shield to pieces, leaving a bit of wood from the back of his barrel lid still strapped to your hand, but not enough to meaningfully defend yourself. Your shield's broken.
Okay.
Arbus.
I am going to. Getting past counts as 10 feet in the hallway.
They're a bit small, right?
This hall, they're about small, and this hallway's wide enough you can just walk past them.
Right, good. As I would like to move past, catch a gander in the door before I finish my movement on the other side of the door. And, okay, when I get here, 2 actions left. Can I hold out my hand for a high five guidance to the next person to go past me into the room?
No. It's 1 action. Yes, you can ready it. It is a 1 action spell. Yeah, you can ready to cast guidance to the next person who walks past you. Absolutely.
Okay, that's me.
Ara.
You're muted.
I'm always muted. I have no idea what's happening in this room. I just hear fighting, so I'm gonna
You
walk
hear
in.
explosions, wood being destroyed,
It's
roaring.
5, 10. Oh, that's a scary room. Yeesh. What did that just walk into? That was 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna walk all the way down this side. And then just fling a little fire at the one at the top.
All right.
Yeah. Maybe 26.
A 26 will hit.
It's 11 damage.
All right, for reference, I don't see that roll, so roll 20s, roll
Yeah,
20.
me neither.
It freezed out for me, but I have it in the chat
Oh,
log.
yeah, I believe you're fine. I believe you.
Yep.
So 11 damage into the northern demon here. As he's reaching down for another just chunk of anything that he can throw here. My connection to the server has been interrupted. Fantastic.
Same.
Selwyn, you're
Same.
gonna have to try and describe well what you're doing. Roll 20 just crashed. Not a good day to play Pathfinder on the internet.
Yeah, I'm trying to reload it. I'll walk past Gray, high five as I come in, Go,
Okay.
excuse me, coming through. Hero in making. And I'll walk down to the side of Lizard and Cirque, where the demon currently is, and I will
Sweet.
twin faint.
Completely stuck in the corner, surrounded by enemies here.
And then hopefully once I get in, I can roll. Should I just do like a D20 roll online?
Yeah, just roll and tell me what comes up on yours. Like, I'm not.
No, because I'm not in. I tried restarting.
Oh crap!
Wait, yeah.
I can
big
roll
mistake.
for you. I can roll for
Yep.
you.
So,
Well, I have your sheet,
The-
so I can just click on it.
yeah.
You
Well,
just have
I'm
a,
in
oh,
now.
Ooh, nice. Good job.
do you have a
How d-
twin feint
That's
button?
ours.
Yep. I had no, just make a normal attack and then use the sneak attack because I have them set up right.
Okay, so you are going to get a 28,
And I'm back in.
which will hit. Okay, that was your first swing, so you hit him for 6 on the first swing, and then give me the fainted swing.
I shall. For 14, and I'll use my session reroll for that one. For an 18, but he is flat-footed.
18 will do it.
And I hit him for 11 as I come across with the first strike coming above, very, very obvious. So I strike across him, don't get that much damage in. And then with the dagger-like grip, come in and hit him in the abdomen.
And with those 2 hits, Lizard Man, you guys are successfully bullying this thing to death so far. Now,
I am.
as we come back around, it should have been someone's initiative, but I was really distracted by everything being broken. As we come back around the top of the round here, as Ara throws this little fireball out so effectively towards the northern demon, there is a lot of shredded parchment and paper and loose dust through the air. Ara, why don't you just roll me a d20?
Am I setting things on fire again?
Yeah, you are. Well, I don't know. Roll me a d20.
Yay. Huh?
I said, I don't know. Roll me a d20. We'll see.
1d20. How about a 10?
You see even the small produced flame flash and start to catch little bits of parchment and paper around, but it doesn't seem like it's enough to start a larger fire and become a bigger threat than that. All right, Lizardman.
Okay. I am gonna just go for this like weird, hideous face here.
It's not nice to talk about Zerg that way.
Well, you know, I didn't appreciate it either. So just for 16.
16 just barely is gonna miss as he has his head down on your shield, and you can't really get past these huge gnarled horns perched on its head.
I will. I'm gonna try that again for 17, but -4, so 13, 14.
Hey, 14. You just can't get an offense through him while he's in you. With your shield getting turned around, you're really off balance here.
So what I'm gonna do is what should I do with my third? I'm going to try and there's this like ruined bookcase here, and as it ends at the wall, I'm gonna try and take cover behind just some of the like broken out.
I don't think
planks
there's
of wood.
enough here for you to take cover. But there is a smaller sectioned off bit of the library to the south of you, where an archway leads through to a small reading room that looks like they haven't gotten around to just destroying yet. So you could move through there. You wouldn't be able to step.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to be the flanking bonus either, so that's fine. It's okay. I'll just sit there then.
All right, Zerg.
You said bully, and it put a fun thought in my mind. Zerg's gonna push this guy over,
All right.
right into Lizard Man.
He's already leaned over, eating a shield. Give me athletics check.
17.
Say 17. That's not going to critically fail, but it's certainly not going to be near enough to topple this hulking massive demon.
Okay, so sort of leading up against him, trying to get him to move over. Hunched over, Zerg sees a piece of that table that was flung at him. He's gonna pick that up and just try and swing it at the guy.
All right, give me a normal attack roll here. And
14.
yeah, you pick it up and you swing it. Pick up the table leg. You just whack him with it. It's just Not nearly enough to do any real damage. Doesn't break it or anything. You just feck. No reaction whatsoever.
This is not working. I'm gonna try and drive it through him.
All right. Well, picking it up was an action and swinging.
Oh, and then okay, yeah, cool.
So this team at the back of the room here is gonna just fling another handful of shattered wood. It looks like a pretty decent chunk of an entire bookshelf down angrily towards Ara. And this is gonna fly at you with a for 17.
Right on the little nose.
And that's going to hit everyone's favorite little wooden potato for 9 damage. And you look up from this bookshelf slamming into you to see it charging across the room, head down towards you.
Oh, bring it.
These are not words you say. And his jaws are gonna come down before his horns do, as he can just about fit your entire dumb little head in his mouth.
That's rude.
He's gonna bite for an 18.
Ouch.
And it's only gonna do a further 9 damage. But I need you to make a fortitude save.
I can only make so many 9s. I can only take so much. Fortitude. Speaking of 9s, I'm gonna session reroll the fortitude
Okay.
for a 19 instead of a 9.
Still fails though.
Yeah, but it's better than a 9.
As he bites into you, his jaws ripping across the wood on your head. As he pulls back, you can immediately see these little branches and everything on the side of Ara's face just twist and gnarl, like bulbous, darkened roots. It looks like he just put a huge wooden cabbage over his head, and frankly, it's hideous.
Wee.
The other demon, very stuck in the corner, unsure where to go. He's not really fazed by this orc hitting him in the back with a small wooden stick or just leaning up against him who hasn't done anything. He is a little fazed by the stabbing from this small thing next to him, and he's gonna try to eat it. So he's gonna lean down to Selwyn, biting for a 31.
Holy
Uh-oh.
shit.
That is going to be a crit, sir.
Ooh, baby.
I didn't know
As
if
he
it's
bites
crit.
down on this small gnome for 32 damage.
Oh, well, I'm down to 5.
You should make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude, what you at? 14.
And he is going to follow that up with a claw also down towards the gnome. He doesn't want any more of this. Swiping towards you with an 18.
That is going to miss as I duck under. I'm too small for this man.
He's got one more. The other hand coming up from below with an 11.
And I step back, like I do a little duck and then a back step.
And as you
That's
get
this
back
first
away from his
one.
jaws and they pull back, you can see Selwyn about looks like Two-Face right now. One half of her face hideously swollen and warped, much like what had happened to Zerg and Lizard Man before, with these, but not nearly as severe at the moment, but a clear, deep red, what looks almost like pustules. But you, Selwyn, you can feel of heavy, knotted, hardened flesh down the side of your face. You may have
Just the
taken
world.
damage, but the worst is that he made you ugly. Arbus.
I am in a strange predicament here.
He's right next to you. He's
Uh,
not paying any attention to you. No, he's very mad at the potato.
Very big
Well-
you've gotten.
Oh, that's right. You said AOOs aren't the same in this, so I can get into the room.
Well, I mean, it depends. It's just that arrows are not an inherent thing. Like, it's only if they have them. Not if they're not
Oh.
automatic.
Oh boy.
What are you doing? What's your reaction?
I hear Selwyn's in trouble. I'm going to try to come into the room. Does he have it?
He does not.
Thing?
He doesn't
Okay.
turn toward any attention towards you at all as he continues to savage Ara's little gnarled face.
Woof. I'm gonna come to here and
Dog's mad he got locked away.
look at Selwyn in trouble and close my eyes. And you start feeling little raindrops as I try to heal you from a distance.
I want to feel a lot of raindrops.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's good, but we'll see here.
10 health. Do you only have
Ten-
first level heals prepared?
I only prepared once, yeah.
10 health to Selwyn. Ara, you feel your head get heavier.
And my brain thinking's not as good. I'm gonna Burning Hands directly in front of me. As a level 2 spell.
That'll definitely get him.
So that's what it is. But you need to add 2 more d6 on top of that.
Let me
Yes.
reflex save this nerd. He is not fast. I'm gonna be an 11 on his
So-
reflex save. Does not even, like, hardly attempts to dodge it at all.
So it's gonna be a total of maybe there it goes. 11 damage. Plus
12
2.
damage.
So 12?
So you did 9, and that's
9
3.
plus 3. Nah. Plus 2.
Yeah,
So
14.
14 damage. Okay.
And then
14 fire damage, and then roll me a flat check real quick.
Oh yeah. My favorite part of this.
We're gonna burn the hermitage down.
Yep. Roar.
4.
There it is.
Well, the good news, he's up above you, and this Burning Hands is mostly up. And it seems to have missed the worst of it, though this seemed almost guaranteed to start a fire. There's not enough stuff up for it to catch.
And then I am going to be the little potato coward that I am, and tactically hide over here.
He runs back in the small reading area to the south. Selwyn,
Yeah, I'm showing here in the making. This was my little tormentor fish.
Oh gosh, we have to
Uh,
deal with this again.
I love it.
Alright. We're gonna try to faint this thing in front of me. Uh-oh. Come on.
Uh-oh.
Please, roll 20. No. 21 or 17.
Well,
Whichever you-
that's 2 attacks for a twin feint, right?
That is true.
21 hits, and a 17 hits flat-footed. So you just need to add a
Well-
d6 to that, I think.
Yeah. Sweet.
Get
Minimize
What
how many
kind
dice
do
you have to
you
make
want?
roll 20 roll because it's mega
Yeah,
laggy.
yeah, it is really, really, really slow. I heard the rolling. Didn't
The
see
internet
the-
has holistically
Oh, there you
gone
go.
down today. Like
Another
all
free,
of, all
so
of
for
the
a total
internet.
of 19 damage.
Alrighty, and as you lay those into him, the first of these demons reaching towards Selwyn now, you fight back with your short swords, and he is dark blood oozing from all over him. He's got you for the face in prime stabbing range. It won't take much more to bring him down. Lizard man.
Oh, wait, I still have an
Oh,
action.
you have one action left, my bad.
Yeah. Current favors debold.
Run!
Hi, someone.
I'm out
Through
of
this
here.
High
corner!
five.
Lizard
Someone
man.
runs in. High five.
Yep, high five and I'll hide
I'm
against this
going
wall.
to, I'm going to try and slice this man, and hopefully bring him down with a 20.
20'll do it.
9 damage. So I finally, like, after Selwyn kind of stabs this man, he's taken some pretty good hits, and I can see some soft spots in where his skin is not keeping together very well, and I can kind of reach through and kind of start grabbing things out.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Do you prep
Why
the
are you
most
like
savage
this?
things you can do? And
Well,
then
he's not
say
gonna
that?
remain alive when that happens, so he's dead. 2 actions left.
And then I'm going to, really don't have a shield. Kind
not
of a
know.
problem. I am going to step over here, move over here, and then take another swipe at this other guy. Better
Minus
if they
4.
die faster, is what my plan is.
You don't need a shield. You just got a board on your arm now. Does nothing.
Yeah. I clicked. Oh, I clicked. And there was a natural one though.
Natural 1. Yep, that's
I
not
dropped
gonna-
my claw. No.
Zerg.
Drop your call.
Tried and true method, Zerg is going to run at the fastest possible speed he can and attempt to spear tackle this guy into the wall.
Yes, through the wall.
Alrighty. Give me athletics or an attack roll, however you want to have that come across. I will let you dealer's choice on that one.
Oh, no, well, okay. I meant to click it once, I think I pressed it twice.
We'll take
Fucking
the
roll
first one.
20s. bugging out on me.
24, as you slam
24.
into him, going for the spear tackle, you knock him and slam him into what's left of the bookshelf next to him, as he scrabbles a bit before pushing you off. Even that unable to take him down.
Punch to the goddamn head.
All right. Zerg does not have good luck with these guys.
45.
-4, 21. 21 will hit, though. You got him.
21? Oh, there you
Yeah,
go. Excellent.
21 hits.
Nice.
Zerg's got really bad luck with these demons.
So Zerg comes barreling into him. He gets knocked into the bookshelf and Zerg's pushed back a little, but that momentum is just enough to come back and rear a fist to the face for 6 damage.
All right, that leaves you with, actually that's 6. You had to move over to him. So that's, as you punch him for 6, he turns, reeling towards you. Who hit him? Did you hit him? You didn't hit him, Lizard Man. Towards you, the potato has run away. He's angry. You stand between him and the potato. And he is
I'm not a chew toy.
mouth wide, fanged maw, chomping down towards Zerg for 30.
Oh my god.
The hand comes up in defense, but he takes a big old chunk out of whatever it is he's biting at.
Does that critically hits you, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think
20
you're exactly
AC.
20. I think it's exactly a critical hit. Mm-hmm. So he's gonna give you a good munch for roll 20.
I heard it roll.
Yep, 32 damage,
Oh.
Still living.
which he is going to follow up as you throw your hand up, just with a backhand of his for a 15.
Disrespect.
I feel it. How much was that second attack for,
A
sorry?
15 to hit the backhand.
Oh, yeah, no, the bite was enough to make Zerg realize that he's in danger. He dodges out of the way of that.
And as you dip under that, he brings his other claw down overhead. Roll 20
How many attacks does this guy
for
got?
a 15 as well.
No bueno, no dice, another dodge.
Arvis.
And
And also he has 3, like everybody else. He has 3 actions.
worried about where Selwyn went. I can only deal with what I can see, and I see Zerg is in a lot of trouble.
Zerg
so
is
I'm-
barely standing after that, but he's
I'm gonna
stuck
try
and he's
to-
doing it. But I also need you to make me a fortitude save real quick, Zerg.
Oh, baby.
Oh, yeah, not again. Zerg doesn't want to be ugly.
Not again.
Skirt behind him, fumbling in my bandolier for some salves and some quick things to keep the man on his feet. I'm gonna attempt to battle medicine Zerg.
Alrighty, give me trained or expert, because still medicine check.
I gotta go expert.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, he needs the help. He needs it now. 24.
That'll do it. 2d8 plus 10 health back to Zerg with some quick medical attention.
$18.
Well, that helps. He still looks pretty well injured, but it definitely is a start. That the wound ripped open by the creature's jaws is a bit knotted and swollen and hard to close properly, but not nearly as bad as what had happened to him before, as it seems Zerg's own strength is refusing to let that happen again.
I still got one more left.
One left.
Yeah. One more left. I put my hand on his shoulder now and say, now finish it, mighty. Guidance.
Ara, As you're in the corner here, you feel your head just kind of swelling and nodding further. You can see whorls of the own wood of your flesh and the edges of your vision.
I'm drifting at this point, just from the weight. There's too much weight on my head.
Listing sideways.
I step around the corner after hearing some mighty chomps, and go look at Zerg and it's like, ooh, that's disgusting. And I'm just gonna.
Zerg's barely like at all.
I'm gonna use a first level heal on him.
Alrighty.
Just call me Heal Battery. So it's 1d8
plus 8. Yep.
plus 8. I know. My brain was buffering like the internet is right now.
I don't know why the whole internet's down today. 11 health back to Zerg. Once again, the two healers attached to him, keeping him together as he dodges desperately to stay alive. Selwyn, you can feel the flesh, just the sheer weight of it on the side of your face, sagging down, pulling at the skin of your temples and around your ears.
Well, I'll say a small slurred prayer as I'm moving into the fray. For another Bloodswind Feint.
No.
Once more with feeling.
Fear status 0.
No, there's a lot of fear. I'm just trying to fight through it.
Desperation status 100.
22 on the first hit.
22 will hit.
For 9 damage as I swing from above. I use the same strat I was using on the other one that seems to work so well. These demons aren't too
How
smart.
do you swing from above your gnome?
Well, swing from below for 9. Not doing it solo this time.
And 9, you're gonna land the first, but not the second here. Bring us the Lizard Man. This injured demon in front of you, surrounded by your injured allies. And you start to feel a heavy fatigue on you as this battle wears on. As if your energy is kind of flagging a bit.
I'm just gonna lay into him as hard as I can. Ooh, this is exactly the fatigue going here. I do have a hero point from Jastron though.
You have 1 hero point.
So I may use that. Because, you know, we kind of need this guy to die sooner rather than later.
Alright.
Ooh,
Oh, baby.
Jastron, you
That's
are
value.
the Jastron.
What a
happy
hero.
Energy. Okay, so 31.
Crits.
Nice 9 damage. Doubled.
18 damage. Near
And then-
enough to rip him down on the spot.
And then
Last
second
hero
hit.
point well spent.
Ooh,
Oh,
second
baby.
hit.
Oh.
20.
Back to back.
Then what do you do?
I at this point I'm just going for like the same way. I'm just going in, but instead of with his mouth like going opening to go towards Selwyn, I just punch up into the back of his head as his mouth is heading towards Selwyn, and just claw like right into the top of his mouth.
2 back-to-back 20s today.
Wow.
2 of them
Yeah.
from the party. As this last
Jastron is actually the hero here.
The real hero.
As this last demon drops, you feel this kind of this fatigue, this bit of exhaustion wreck through you, as it just feels like it takes so much effort for you to move, really. And Arbus, as all the crunching or breaking of wood and stone falls silent, both these demons drop into dark, oozing pools on the ground. You as well feel like it's difficult for you to catch your breath. You feel a bit overwhelmed, almost like you just can't breathe quite right.
Oh, no. And then I remember something. No. I look
What
at
is
his
it?
light on my arm. I remember I took a crypt a little while ago.
You look down to where the ghoul had bit into you, down below, struggling to catch your breath. Both you and Lizard Man almost feeling this wall of fatigue hit you as you've dragged through now 3 battles today. Still early in the morning, but far more exhausted than you should be. Wondering what that might mean. With that, we end our session for this week. leaving hopefully these frickin' monumental internet issues behind us. To continue again next Monday. The hermitage of cursed lightning, surely at this point. Starting to unveil more of what's happening here, but still no cause, still no reason. Up on the northern end, we found druids infusing fell abyssal energies into animals, the product of their corruption, those burning leopards. And here, more of these hulking demons lurking within the furthest sanctums of the hermitage. The druids clearly abiding this, but still no further answers as to why. Next week, everybody, we return back to the Extinction Curse. Reginald has to be in here somewhere, and there can't be that much space left. Surely, that cannot go on forever. Good old-fashioned dungeon crawls, and what's the worst that could happen?
Never
With
say
a couple
it.
of
Ghouls?
with a couple of
I don't know.
ghoul bites spread around the party. What's the worst that could happen? Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us through the huge issues today. Hopefully we'll leave this all behind us next Monday. Good night, all. What's the worst that could happen?